mentally, just handling what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. Drake May has done a lot to really impress this staff. And I think it's fair to say that Jacoby Brissett probably has the leg up to be a starter. He has experience. He's also a great dude who doesn't mind teaching a young quarterback. Clearly, he's been there. Best case scenario, he comes in, he is the starter. But Drake May, as Gerard Mayo told reporters yesterday, Drake May is going to start to get a little more snaps with the one. Don't want to get him behind that offensive line. Make sure he can get a good play operation going and really just see what they have very early on. But certainly positive things there. As far as Matt Judon, I think there was a pretty, somewhat overblown, but very well-publicized discussion on the sideline of practice between Matt Judon and Gerard Mayo. Then he didn't practice. He is back at practice today. He is working with team. You're right. Obviously, woefully underpaid. There have been, of course, some discussions about potentially getting him a new deal. We will see if one is possible. Also, certainly possible that Matt Judon says, you know what, I'm just going to go play it out. Whatever happens, happens. Then go kill it in March. All options are on the table, but I think the best news, everyone on the same page here, and he is back at practice.
Well, it's some Joe show. We've seen it. Nobody wants to be there. It's some big bad show tonight. Just can't take this damn parade. Who cares? Joe show. There's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets hit by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray. First time I ever met Joe Murray was at a Hooters.
I like that. Vomit. Whoa.
Welcome in 98.5, the Sports Hub of Joe Murray with you tonight. All night long. All night long. That's right. You just got so many hours of Matt McCarthy. I salute him. That is why we call him Marathon Matt. Going the extra mile today. Doing a fantastic job, and I'll be taking over for the rest of the night. Skaz is here. It's just us. It's just Skaz and I. And if you want to hang out with us, the phone number is 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/thesportshub, and you can chat right in. And it's as easy as that. Where to begin tonight? There's a lot going on. Not a lot of news. I think people kind of got away for the weekend yesterday. It seemed like one of those Fridays. It absolutely poured, by the way, on my way in. So hopefully some people are avoiding that at the moment. But the continued talk is Drake May now. The story of training camp is starting to go away from Matthew Judon, which we'll get to in a little bit here. I think it's fair to say that the Patriots have been able to get away from some of the struggles Drake May has had early on, and it hasn't been the main focal point. It just hasn't been. Now, I know that in reality, when you draft somebody third overall, you want them to be ready. You want them to at least be someone who could contribute. And the way that they've set the expectation is Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter. And today, Drake May, things changed for a little bit for him. Over the last couple of practices, it's been reported that he struggled. His first padded practice ever as a rookie, he struggled. That's what happened. But yesterday, you heard better results. Today, Drake May went 18 of 24, completed 75% of his passes, or at least in the last 2 practices he's done that. He's rebounded well. He had a 2-practice stretch where things were rough on Monday and Tuesday night. This is what happens with a 21-year-old. There will be hiccups, right? But he keeps improving. And that's something I think that people should take in. We are 1 week away from reacting from the first Patriots preseason game. I'm not sure how they're going to handle things. Last night, the Hall of Fame game, which we'll get to in a little bit, you didn't really see any of the starters there. So do you think a Jacoby Brissett will play? Will he even get a snap? I don't know. The only quarterbacks who got snaps today realistically were Drake May and Jacoby Brissett. Bailey Zappi, sad today. It was a sad day for Zappi. Also, the great Joe Milton. The great Joe, the Tom Brady of practice. That's what he's been labeled as. We'll certainly get into him in just a little bit. But just sticking to Drake May, 21 years old. He'll have his hiccups. He's bounced back. Jacoby Brissett finished well today on some of the reports in the 2-minute drill. Pop Douglas was back out on the field, and everyone said him being back made the offense look much better. It was the best practice offensively, at least the first day of camp. So with a week to go, ramping up for the first preseason game, the offense looks much better. And of course, when Pop Douglas comes into the mix, I'm sure it opens up other people. Javon Baker seems to be the big name that is impacting. I mean, Pop Douglas hasn't been out there, but I think that's who can benefit the most. I'm starting to think he's going to play. And what I mean by play is he might be your first substitute wide receiver. And we're going to get into him in a little bit. I want to break him down because, you know, these fourth-round wide receivers, there is a history of guys who break through. So we'll give you some of those names. Jalen Polk again today also contributed. But the defense, I think, is taking a step back this season. The Christian Barmore blow is big. I think teams will run on them. A, because I think they're a little light up front. Devin Gottschall is one of the best run defenders in the league. That's a fact. But are they going to go 2-nose, 2 defensive tackle? What's going to happen with Keon White, Wise on the outside? Are they going to have Jabril Peppers and extra safeties on the field? That's going to, I think, when defenses see that, they could audible out of situations and run the football. That's my biggest concern for the team. I think their secondary can cover. I think they know what to do. But when it comes to actual physicality sometimes, just one-on-one matchups, offensive line, defensive line, zone, all that stuff, and I don't want to bore you with second level, that's where I think the defense is going to struggle this year. And I think that's why you need Matthew Judon on the football field, who practiced today. He was out there. He wasn't out there and then went 11 straight plays on one drive. So the Matthew Judon thing all of a sudden is quiet. What happened there? I'm still trying to sniff that one out. Still trying. I got nothing yet on that. But Matthew Judon there today. The offense is starting to catch up. That was one of the things Gerard Mayo said, that, you know, defense is generally ahead at this point. Today was the first day that the offense really caught up, and it was one of the better practices for the Patriots. I mean, the offense hasn't looked like this. I saw Evan Lazar write, it might not have looked like this in years. Whoa. Years. He also mentioned Brissett got the offense down the field multiple times at 11-on-11s, with competitive period ending with a touchdown on an in-breaker to Pop Douglas. A ton of reps today for Brissett in May. Milton got third quarterback reps, which was 1. 3 total, in 11-on-11, none in the 7s. And Zappi got nothing. A lot of talk about the quarterback situation and which quarterback at Patriots practice looks like the 3rd overall pick. We're going to give you more of that coming up. Maybe you heard some of my commentary on this last night. I've been going back and forth with people that haven't been down there. So I feel like I should have like a button or a sticker or maybe even a T-shirt that says I was there. Telling you right now, I was not discouraged one bit by Drake May's performance. He's clearly got the body type, the strength, the touch around the goal line for sure, the deep ball, you name it. The speed of the game, I think, will be an issue for him. But right now, Drake May's just a guy who played 20, 21 college football games. That's it. He had a COVID year. He literally didn't play for 2 full years. He backed up Sam Howell. The kid really just hasn't had a lot of reps. But the ceiling is there. And I just want to paint this picture one more time to everybody. Mac Jones with the 15th overall pick, and I don't want to compare them, but I have to here. It makes my argument. Mac Jones was one of the most ready quarterbacks coming out of the draft. He was ready to go. What were his flaws? His athletic ability, his arm strength, right? Those were his flaws. But as far as coming in, understanding terminology, working hard, he won the quarterback position. He did. He was ready to go. And people expected it, I think. I think some people may have had the same expectations for the 3rd overall pick. And I don't know if that's fair for a 21-year-old. But I get it. There have been other 3rd-round picks that haven't made it either, right? So far, Trey Lance is someone that has struggled at least in that spot. There's been others. But the Patriots have at least set the expectation that he's going to sit. And the fact that he's getting better every day, and the number one thing, and thank you for this one, because I think you'll like it too, Patriots fans. When Drake May struggles, he takes accountability. He doesn't have poor body language. We've yet to see it actually on the field. But so far in practice, because I was there, when he makes a mistake, he pats his chest. He takes the accountability. He was working out with KJ Osborne after they both weren't together on the same route. He was literally working with him after practice. I just thought that was something that when it came to body language, that was one thing that I think people really disliked about Mac Jones' game. Drake May is not that guy. He improved today, and we'll get into more of that coming up on the other side. But I'm starting to lose my mind over the Joe Milton takes. I'm starting to lose it. It's a Friday. I want to get through the weekend without it. We'll let you hear some audio. I think Colin Cowherd doubled down. I kind of went at him last night. And then we'll hear from a man we call Big T. We'll hear from him coming up in just a little bit. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.
take that Joe Milton, the 6th-round quarterback, who is kind of his last year at Tennessee, a touchdown machine in the best conference, could get real snaps on this team eventually. Apparently that was a hot take. Let me ask you, if I had said the day after the 2022 draft that Brock Purdy, the 262nd pick, would eventually replace Trey Lance, the number 3 pick, they would dump Trey Lance, would that have been a hot take? Oh, it would have. If I'd have said a year before Kevin Durant went to the Warriors, I suspect Kevin Durant will leave OKC and go to his rival. That, too, would have been a hot take. Be careful about hot takes. They happen all the time. Joe Milton, in the best college football conference in the country, had 30 touchdown passes, rushed for 7 touchdowns, and had 5 picks. Now, he misses open receivers. He can be a little very inconsistent throwing the ball, but I'll throw this out to you. Jacoby Brissett has been benched or has been injured during a season more than once. 60 quarterbacks played last year. And I will tell you, of all the first-round quarterbacks, Drake May is the least prepared to play right now in a culture in New England that leans heavily to the defensive side.
Takes. They happen all the time. Who are you trying to convince, bro? I'm the guy that was there. I'm the guy that's telling you, no, that's not the case. I am the guy who's doing his job. You are not that man. You are not that guy. Joe Milton has not done anything more better than Drake May in practice, besides maybe have a stronger arm. And I'll get into. He brought up their college statistics. Do you really want me to do that? I will. You sure about that? I'll do it. Drake May improved today. He's thrown 75% over the last couple of practices. He's rebounding. Isn't that what you want? A guy that's learning every day and getting better. It's called the ceiling, everybody. You know, Mac Jones hit his ceiling. Now this guy, he's got a really high ceiling, so it's only going to continue to get better. But Joe Milton, on the other hand, I think Joe Milton's trying to survive in the NFL. I think Joe Milton's a guy that played six years of college football. Do I need to tell you that? He played 3 seasons, 3, at Michigan. Then he transferred to Tennessee. He backed up Hendon Hooker. He's pretty good, right? He didn't play until he got hurt, and then he started all last year. He spent 3 years at Tennessee. Now he has been in the Big Ten. He's been in the SEC. He's had good games against some top schools. And, look what he did against Alabama. By the way, Alabama's defense sucked last year. Facts. Did not make the college playoff. Suck. Don't give me numbers when you're trying to support your own argument when you're wrong. The Joe Milton stuff, though. It's not just here. Not just here. In the Joe Murray text chain this morning with some others. I won't call them out because I love them. But they're hearing reports from guys like Ben Volin. Right? The Patriots, I agree if you want to say that the Patriots are protecting Drake May, yes. He's the 3rd overall pick. He's struggling. They're not upset about it. They told you it was going to take time. Don't believe the hype that Joe Milton looks better than Drake May. Now, does Joe Milton look like a guy that was a 6th-round pick? No. He's got one of the best arms. He probably had the best arm in college football. He's 6'5". He can run in the red zone. There's a lot of things he can do well. You know what he can't do well? Short passes. Hard throws over the middle that go off receivers' hands because he throws it too hard. He is not challenging for the starting role. And national media. I'm not a no green teamer, no Patriot teamer here. Just facts. That's what we do on the night show. Now, Skaz, we got to play this one. Good old Colin Cowherd doubling down. I don't know how you felt about that. But should we hear from our buddy Big T? Big T, because he loves some Tennessee football. Big T, on a Barstool podcast, talked about, and I don't know if you know exactly who it is, Kaz. But
yeah, Big T, his name is Connor Knapp. I believe he went to Tennessee, huge Tennessee fan. He's on a couple Barstool podcasts. So this is him and Barstool Chief talking about Joe Milton and, the Tennessee fan experience of watching Joe Milton and what it's like.
Okay.
They're saying that Joe Milton is playing better than Drake May. They're in phase one.
Were they doing Hail Mary drills?
They said go read the guys. The Boston Globe beat reporter. He said you would not be able to tell who was the 3rd overall pick and who was the 6th rounder.
I bet you Joe Milton looks great against air.
He has to be like the greatest practice player in the history of sports.
Unbelievable.
Because he at this point has gotten Michigan, Tennessee, 2 very proud football programs, and the New England Patriots to buy into this. And there is film evidence that he
can't play.
It falls off.
Yeah.
Now, let me say, Joe is awesome. Great dude. I hope he kills it. I hope he becomes a starting quarterback for the Patriots. But it's just like somehow in practice, he must be the Tom Brady of practice.
He can sling it better than anybody I think I've ever seen.
And then he throws it 80 yards and then does a backflip. Like, it's awesome. It's sick. But at some point you gotta put it all together.
You gotta do more.
And if Milton had been like
if he had transferred to Florida,
serviceable, well, just at UT, if he had been like fine, he would have been a 1st round pick.
100%. You can't teach what he has.
The Tom Brady of practice. And by the way, I did say that Alabama did make the college football playoff. Just to factually be honest, they did, but they played. It didn't go well. Michigan. Anyways, to make my point, I don't think Alabama's defense was good. That's my point. But anyways, Big T, who's one of Tennessee's biggest fans, also not in on the Joe Milton stuff. It's killing me. It's just killing me. And poor is it Bailey Zappi. I don't know if you might have it at the ready, Skaz. I know I sent it to you earlier, but I won my argument last year. I feel I did. I'll always root for Bailey Zappi. If the Patriots have Bailey Zappi as their quarterback, it's not going to be good. But today, Bailey Zappi got shut out at practice. It was sad. And he spoke about it after practice.
Mayo's preached, quality over quantity. So that's kind of been my mindset going to this whole training camp is no matter whether it's 5 or 10 or today none, I'm going to do everything I can to help the team win. And it is hard. You look back, you started 8 games in the year. Obviously, that's, you have that on your resume. So, nobody's ever going to forget that, whether it's here, whether it's wherever. Obviously, I want to be here. I want to play here. I want to do everything I can to help this organization win. But, it is hard, but I'm trying to be the best teammate I can because, that's what's best for this team, and that's how we can win games. And whether I'm out in the field or I'm on the sideline, I'm going to do everything I can to help the guys.
You got to love a guy like that. I saw that, Skaz. You gotta love a guy like that who takes one for the team.
How is he taking one for the team? He's not good.
He got no reps today and didn't complain.
Yeah, because if he complained, he'd be cut.
Gotta love a guy like that. Gotta love a guy who knows his role, man. Gotta love a guy who knows not to talk because he'd get cut.
The piece of that stood out to me?
That whether it's here, whether it's wherever.
Whether it's here, wherever it's wherever. Wherever, whenever. He knows. He knows. Just like Joe Milton knows getting 1 rep or 3 reps on the day in total. One other thing I wanted to mention. Jacoby Brissett, from everything I gather, has been good. I thought he looked, I don't want to say out of shape. I feel like he's trying to play into shape, like camp shape. Maybe a lot of guys are doing that because they have so many days off. But I read this from Evan Lazar as well. Not trying to take anything away from Brissett, who's been really good. But there are a few throws that when May's up to speed, you wonder if he can complete them with the starters. So a lot of the talk is he's working with backups who might not be able to play with him. And that's why things have changed over the last couple of days. But he had a really nice slot fade to Pop Douglas and then had a nice corner post to Javon Baker and a fadeaway to Austin Hooper. They were all wide open. And they needed to be thrown perfectly. And he did. So when he's throwing to those guys, he looks better. Duh. So the whole point of if he doesn't look good, well, look who he's throwing to. And Brissett looks the best because look who he's working with. That's where the whole Brissett May thing, don't worry about if he's not up to speed yet. Like, he's not working with the ones. And the mistakes that he makes is because maybe of some of the talent he's with. Thought that was just an interesting note. He has struggled maybe because he's not working with the ones. And Pop Douglas came back today and made everybody look better. Seems to be the word on the street. All right, Stefan's in Brockton. Hey, Stefan.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
How you doing, bud?
I'm a little frustrated with Drake May's progress because we wasted a number 3 draft pick on him, and he's not going to be ready this year.
How do you know they wasted it?
Well, because look, everybody who got picked in the first round for every other team is basically playing, and we have a quarterback that's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, but there's a history of guys who start on the bench and then become the best.
Which is, it's cool, and I understand that the history part about it, but we've been waiting 5 years for a good quarterback.
Well, that's not Drake May's fault. That's not Drake May's fault.
Michael Penix is in Atlanta killing it in his camp.
Well, he's not going to play,
J.J. McCarthy's showing improvement. Everybody else is showing like they're ready to step up to the plate.
Didn't I just tell you Drake May showed improvement today?
No, from what I hear, everything that Belichick said on his podcast is correct. From everything everybody's been reporting, everything that Belichick said has been correct.
Hey, listen,
footwork, needs work, everything.
I'm going to tell you this much, okay? I'm not sitting here defending Drake May. I'm not going to do that. But the kid's 21. He played in an offense where he never huddled up in his life. He's played 20 games in his career. Like, he's got a really high ceiling. And they even told you that Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter. So why do they waste this? Why do they waste it?
What was the process in selecting the next quarterback? Was it like, okay, we're going to wait a couple of years so hopefully he works out? Or we got to plug somebody in to see what he got?
I just gave you the Mac Jones analogy. Okay, Michael Penix gets drafted, plays right away. He's got all the skills in the world, but in 4 years, his knees break down and he doesn't have the same arm strength. Like, you got to draft guys that high who have a ceiling, who have high upside. You can't get the guys that are ready right away, who can play right away, but don't have the ceiling. They just went through that. So you talked about 5 years ago. That's where they screwed it up.
The fan base needs something now, though. We need something now.
Yeah,
nobody's going to watch these games. We need something.
The fan base knows they're going to suck. They're all literally, what I'm telling you is the fan base isn't upset. You are.
A little bit.
Yeah, but what did you expect them to do?
Draft somebody who's going to come out and give us a little excitement at least. Okay. Even if they lose,
you couldn't get Caleb Williams. You couldn't get Jaden Daniels. So you think Penix? Again, I'm giving you the Penix analogy as a guy who could have played right away. But what was his upside? He can play right now. But is he a guy that could get all the way to Josh Allen level?
So what happens if Drake May is not that guy?
Then they screwed up again. And they should have started 5 years ago, and they're going to go back into it. This is what sucks about sucking.
We're going to keep sucking until we not suck no more?
Yeah, because you got to find a quarterback that can play. It's their fault for letting one go years ago and not having one ready to go.
Well, now the fans got to suffer for their poor judgment.
Yes. Yeah, what do you think they were doing before Tom Brady? They were sucking. And then Drew Bledsoe.
35.
I'm 42. You know what happened? They sucked. And then they got Drew Bledsoe, and everything they sucked. They went 1-16. They only sucked a little bit. And then they started getting better and better and better. They went to a Super Bowl, bro.
All right, Joe. I'm gonna have patience just because of you. Just because I'm gonna trust your takes on
Hey,
it.
listen, I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just telling you it's not going to happen this year.
Which is disappointing. Very disappointing.
What did you want them to do, though? Like, you wanted them to get Penix?
I did.
Yeah,
I kind of
listen,
wanted Penix.
Penix
I
could
thought
play
he was
right
ready.
now.
I watched him play in college
Yeah, me too.
playoffs. I was like,
Yeah, me too.
good.
But guess what? He has 2 blown-out ACLs.
I know, but you got to take a chance.
But you take a chance when you have Kirk Cousins.
That's true. But Kirk Cousins looks like he's not going to play.
Kirk Cousins is playing.
All right, we're going to see about this, Joe. I'm going to call back.
You call back,
see.
Stefan. I'll remember you in Brockton. I know Brockton.
Right. Remember me, Joe. I listen to you every day, so
all right,
remember.
bro. Appreciate you.
All right, have a good
Thank
one.
you. Keeping receipts.
I would, I liked Michael Penix a lot. I thought he was great in college, but I would be seriously worried if Michael Penix was the guy starting behind this offensive line. He's not exactly the most mobile of quarterbacks.
Listen, do I think he's got the arm strength? Yes. Do I think he can read defenses? Yes. By the way, did you see him against Michigan? It was tough, right? Remember Max Duggan against Georgia?
Oh, yeah. That was tough.
And with Herbert out, Easton Stick, Max Duggan? Is that... Woof. Woof. Just like the Patriots this year. Woof. But again, if Jacoby Brissett's so consistent and ready for this, I think they're going to be bad. I don't want to be bad, but I think they're going to be. 617-779-0985. That's the number if you want to jump aboard. See you guys on the YouTube chat. Luke Bruins, Luchadors in there. Anatis, I never saw you before. Prince Humperdinck is in there. Shua. Corey Rip, never seen you before. Sean Callahan, Lava Cake, Lorraine. What a name. Dan Pellet. Thank you. Yes, I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt. All right, we got to get to the headlines. I'm Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox heading to Texas tonight. Start a 6-game road trip in a series with them. So right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Got Skaz here tonight. This place is cleaned out, bro. There's nobody here besides us and Luis.
I think Neil might still be here.
Yeah, Neil's. Yeah, Neil's.
That's it. That's the four right there.
Our traffic guy who's got to do all the spots. He's probably still here. But man, this is a summer Friday, as some like to call it, the summer of mass, which I really like. How you doing, Skaz?
I'm doing better than Bailey Zappi, Joe. I'll tell you that.
Zappy's gonna be just fine.
No, I'm good. The Joe Milton stuff is just shows you that Colin Cowherd never watched him play at Tennessee.
Some guy's really upset that I keep telling people I was at one practice. But how else can I give you my opinion besides what I saw? I even started the show by saying I wanted to get a T-shirt that says I was there. So I don't have to keep telling you. Too random. The callers have been interesting this week, haven't they?
We've certainly had some interesting calls this week. I don't know what it is, but yes.
No, you know what it is? You came up with it last week. Last week I had the epiphany of how bad this is going to suck. And I think now Patriots fans were clouded by the Matthew Judon stuff.
Reality is setting in.
So now it's like, okay, he's back. So the story at camp is, wow, so May stinks. But he's gotten better every day. So it's like, man, they wasted a pick. And it's just, we don't know that yet. Also, he's getting better every day. The body language is good. He takes accountability. So all that stuff, like...
The only other thing I would push back on in that call, too, is that he said, like, every other rookie QB is lighting it up. There are plenty of reports of J.J. McCarthy struggling with the Vikings defense.
Even Caleb Williams has had his struggles. I've heard good things about Penix. I have. But are they playing Penix? No.
And those teams are in much different spots than you are. Look at the talent around Caleb Williams, the talent around Michael Penix.
And wait till you hear about Bo Nix.
Justin Jefferson, is that going to help J.J. McCarthy at all?
It should.
Yeah, the Patriots don't have anybody close to that.
Bo Nix, though, has already been named basically the starter. And he's having... Now, the thing with Bo Nix is, played how many years? 6 years, right? 5 years, whatever it was. He is somewhat of a ready-made quarterback who will have to learn the whole system of huddles. But as far as like having reps and experience, how many games did he play?
Who's going to start the most games for the Broncos this year? Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, or Zach Wilson?
Woof. So I thought Stidham played well last year, and he's never given the opportunity. I think they're going with Bo Nix because it's Sean Payton's job. He needs to put all of his investment into Bo Nix because if they struggle, have another bad year, they're going to start looking at that contract, right? Can he do this? Is it worth it? He's gotten rid of this guy and that guy, and Jerry Jeudy's out the door. Just those kind of things, you know? He needs Bo Nix to develop with him. But I don't know why. I mean, maybe I don't think it's Zach Wilson, but I'm not completely throwing him out of the mix either, though.
But I just say that to say, like, that's a spot the Patriots could very well be in, and I'm glad they're not.
Yes.
They don't have 3 question marks at quarterback. You at least know what Jacoby Brissett is, what he was brought in here to do. He's going to start. He's going to win you some games. He's a veteran. He's going to mentor Drake May. Like, you look at that room, Zach Wilson and Jarrett Stidham, who is helping Bo Nix? Like,
I mean, is Jarrett Stidham going out of his way to help Bo Nix? No, but Brissett is for me. You're right. And Milton.
Exactly. And the Patriots brought Brissett here to do that. He was aware of that. So just, it's not all bad. There are some positives that you can look at.
Hey, I think they're going to be bad on the football field, but they have at least, Danny Ainge did this. He set the expectation with the Celtics. Right? He always told you that they wanted to put veterans around them and then finally took their training wheels off and let them learn on their own, and look what happened. So I like the transparency. That's why I didn't like what Gerard Mayo said. And we'll get into Mayo later in the show here, as Skaz wrote an article at 985thesportshub.com, or if you can find it, it's on our socials. Go there. But Mayo said if he lights it up, he'll be the starter. He'll compete, and I just think that was not good. Another thing that I would chalk up on Mayo, having a tough offseason. Chris is in New Hampshire. Hey, Chris, you're on the Sports Hub.
How you doing?
How you doing?
So, I mean, I'm getting tired of listening to. So I was born in '85. I mean, the Patriots stunk all the way up till '97, and I watched them lose to the Packers up at Loon Mountain in New Hampshire, and just like listening to a lot of these millennials. I mean, I'm considered a millennial. Geriatric millennial is actually what I'm labeled because I'm 85. But just listening to how they're all upset about not winning a Super Bowl in the last 2 years, 3 years, and where's the future going? It's like, you guys haven't had it tough at all. Like, stop calling into radio shows and saying how Patriots need to draft better and all this other stuff. It's like, we hit a jackpot when we found Tom Brady. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, it took 20 years for that to happen since I was born. Like, they've been spoiled.
Yeah, and
Stop whining.
I'll say this, Chris, like, you know, I just like the fact I don't like a lot of the things the Patriots do. Like, I don't, even without Belichick. But I do feel like they've at least said, hey, Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter from day one. So, like, you know, the expectation for him to start right away, and he's a number 3 overall pick. I'd rather him learn the ropes and be ready, but then just have him learn on the fly.
Right, don't throw him to the wolves. Like, Jacoby Brissett is like, whatever you want to look at, like, he's a good quarterback. So, I mean, if they get a couple wins under him and then, you know, Drake May starts to, you know, learn from him and watch how it goes and adjust to the NFL versus college, like, that's what you want. Like, you don't want to throw a rookie quarterback like, you know, Mac Jones. Oh, that didn't work out very well at all. Like,
but he was ready. He was ready to go. He just didn't have the upside.
Was he ready to go though?
No, I know he wanted. Come on, what screwed Mac up was multiple offensive coordinators. He could never develop, bro. He couldn't.
He didn't have an offensive coordinator. They
had Josh. They had Josh McDaniels. That's what I'm talking about. Josh McDaniels had him ready to go.
Yeah,
he won the battle over Cam Newton. They went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that happened. It's a fact.
Yeah, it is a fact. I mean,
he was ready, but the ceiling. You get it? Mac Jones didn't have this. He didn't have the upside, man. There was a ceiling on him.
He hit it way too quick.
Yep. I'm sure having 3 different offensive coordinators helped. Right? He had O'Brien, Patricia, and McDaniels. Am I missing one?
No,
okay.
You're right, Joe.
Yeah.
I just calls like that. I get it. The Patriots sucked in you until you were 12. You weren't born in the 50s, first of all. And second of all, Patriots fans should be upset that the team sucks.
Hey, do you think Brady could take this year's team anyway?
Probably not.
Probably not.
And he certainly wouldn't want to. I'll tell you that, Joe. And he didn't want to do it when they were 8-0.
All right. Kirk Cousins?
No.
Just guys that were available. I'm just, you know. Ryan Tannehill, who doesn't have a job.
Stinks.
I'm just throwing out names like...
Yeah, but I just push back on the thing that, you know, fans shouldn't be upset. You know, they sucked for 20 years when I was a kid, even though they sucked for 12 years of that guy's life. But saying they sucked forever, so it's okay if they suck again, I just think that's kind of a loser mentality. You should be upset they had no plan after Brady. They didn't have a guy. They, you know, had Jimmy G and they traded him, and they didn't pivot after that because Bill was sour about it.
They also didn't develop Stidham.
They didn't develop Stidham.
They went with Hoyer again.
They had Brissett in the system.
He was there, and they traded him.
So you can be upset that the team stinks. That's what you're supposed to do as a fan.
They drafted 2 quarterbacks that play in the NFL, and they're all playing. Now, granted, maybe it's not the upside, but that's why they were drafted. I mean, I think Jimmy G, say what you want about him. I think here, under Bill Belichick playing here, I think he would have gotten over some of those humps. But that's my own opinion. In the end, he was Glass Jimmy, or Glass Joe, as you know from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. 617-779-0985. I know the Red Sox are starting up a big series tonight with the Rangers. It's a big one. Big one. I was going to talk about him, but that's all I'll tell you. We know it's a big one. Scott in Virginia. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, bud?
It's going. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that you were the reason why I bought my air fryer. I got a Brayville air fryer, and one of the things that I'm not sure that you have ever cooked in there is linguiça nachos. Have you ever done that?
I've never done linguiça nachos, but I've definitely put linguiça in there.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But the reason why I was calling is that, first of all, I want to just say you're in the right state of mind going to Patriots training camp, checking out with your own eyes like how they look. I was also there in the first 3 days, and I feel as if that Drake May has done a pretty good job, but I also feel that the high expectations of the fans and of what the expectation of what we had in the past is kind of putting too much pressure on a rookie coming into the system. So I feel as if the fans just kind of calm down and let him develop, let him take his time getting into the games. Hopefully week 9, 10, something like that, and then he can come on in and show everybody what he has. Which why I feel is what he needs.
Mm-hmm. What else have you put? What else have you put in the air fryer?
What else do I put in the air fryer? Well, if I'm staying with the linguiça theme, I had a hot dog and I sliced the hot dog off the top, and I put cheese and sliced up some cubed some linguiça and put that in there as well. I just like the nachos theme, but. The linguiça and nachos or in a hot dog or in nachos or whatever, it's fantastic. It's really, really good. I highly recommend that.
You say linguiça. Sometimes I just put some sausages in there. I put them on. Right. I put it 400 for 8 minutes, and I walk away, and I come back, and the juice is loose.
Fantastic. Hey, there's one other thing I'd want to mention to you. I'm a big AEW wrestling fan. What do you think about Will Ospreay beating MJF at All In? What's your thoughts on All In or Will Ospreay?
Yeah,
He's one of my favorite guys.
I think All In has been better than SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and I think that Ospreay gets the title because I think there might have been some sort of botch in the last match.
Yeah, I feel as if because you noticed that when they were in the last pay-per-view, they had like the clock up. Yeah. And it was like counting down, and there was like 2 seconds left on the clock, and then they actually did the 1, 2, 3 before that.
Yep.
But I think it's going to be a great card. I always am excited for All In. I'm always excited for those English wrestlers to make a big deal, and also Bryan Danielson. What do you think about him winning the title over Swerve Strickland?
I think he's going to retire because he doesn't win the championship.
He's not going to win. I feel just the opposite, that he is going to win. I really hope.
Okay.
Well, I feel as if he's going to win, and then there'll be a tournament to declare a new champion. And I also, again, I think my guy Will Ospreay is going to be a double champion.
All right, Scott. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your weekend. Mix in a little AEW talk with SummerSlam, which is tomorrow. Oh, my God. It's going to come on. I might have to pop it on in the studio here, the old SmackDown. Anyways, we went a little late there. I see you guys on the phone lines. We were going to tell you about that new kickoff rule. We'll do that. And there's one player at camp that I think is might break through. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to do it yet, but I'll give you some names who have. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
We understand. Most of us have been playing this game for a very long time, but the way the rule changes are going, some of us can play this game for a very much longer time now. So, barring any soft tissue or ligament issues and things like that, the way they're making the game softer, I definitely feel like you can play it a lot longer than past years.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jabril Peppers. Talking about the new kickoff rule. We watched it last night. I'm actually surprised we didn't get more runs that were past the 30. So did it really change anything? Is it safer? I don't know. I don't care. It was exciting. I can't wait to see more of it, I guess. So I guess I do care. I shouldn't say I don't care. But did I see like a difference? Nope. I don't know who's going to be out there on a game day, though. I'm sure you can throw anybody out there in a preseason game. So that's where I think it's going to matter is during the regular season. Preseason, there's going to be different guys out there. Devin Hester, though, who is going to the Hall of Fame as a kick returner, had a kick return to open a Super Bowl, said it's kind of shaky right now, but who knows? The first game, we'll see. But I don't know if he was a fan of it. I'm surprised that we're not seeing more big runs. First game, figure the coach is going to evaluate the game and figure it out. We'll see. But I don't think he liked it, and it takes away from guys like him. I don't know. He probably still would have been a kick returner in this if he was playing today. But, yeah, the new kick return didn't really do much last night. We'll hit the headline real quick, and then we'll get into Javon Baker. I wanted to talk about him. Javon, whatever. We'll tell you who he is next on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Bust from the Town Fair Tire Studios, home of the Celtics, Bruins, Revs, and Patriots.
Left side, touchdown Patriots.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox just about to get in action. They're in Texas tonight against the Rangers. They begin a 6-game road trip. Rafael Devers, of course, the walk-off the other night, but a big series for the Red Sox tonight. There was more training camp for the Patriots. Today was the best day for Drake May. Good day for the kid. Third day in pads. Things were looking pretty good. Patriots also announced they've signed Kellen Diesch. He's a tackle. And safety A.J. Thomas to make room. They've released Deshaun Fenwick. And Tyrone Wheatley Jr., I will take a victory lap. Celtics sign our buddy Anton. Why can't I remember his last name?
Watson, I believe.
Watson. There we go. Watson. Antoine Watson. Two-way deal. Played well. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Soon.
Here we go. Boom. I win. Kaboom. Yeah.
Hit somebody. We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
All right, hour two. We're already an hour down, Scott. Already an hour down on a Friday night. By the way, it's warm in here. I don't know if it's seeping from the outside. But when I got into my car today, it was 93 degrees, and within 10 minutes, it poured like I can't remember. Cats and dogs. It was kind of like in Forrest Gump when he said it just stopped raining one day, or it just started raining. That's what happened to me today. It was bad. So I think it went from like 93 to 74 in an hour. But it's hot in here. It's all right. We'll cool down a little bit. We'll cool down. Phone number 617-779-0985. What is going on in our chat tonight? Einbein's in there. Brokerage Babe. Hey there. Russ Fox. Oh, Bryson. Commenting on my Hawaiian shirts. It was hot today. It was hot today over at camp, but you know who stood out there is a player that's standing out. And I'm starting to think this guy might make an addition. It's Javon Baker, wide receiver out of UCF. So the story on him was he was at Alabama, but he was amongst all of those receivers that were there, and he decided to transfer out. Played for a really good quarterback at UCF. Do you know that he was drafted just before Tez Walker, who played with Drake May? Like, if they wanted to go after the wide receiver, why not go with the one they're familiar with? Instead, they went with upside. They didn't want to just go with a ceiling guy that they knew.
Tez Walker did kind of get screwed, too, by the NCAA, and I think that probably hurt him as well.
Absolutely. But on draft day, they chose Baker over Walker. Patriots went with Baker. And Demario Douglas was on the field today, so I think it kind of helped out things for Javon Baker, so I want to just preface that. But day 3 receivers, Skaz, can you think of some 4th-round picks that make it in the league? Because I did my research. I looked it up. But as far as 4th-round picks go, so let's call it day 3 and ahead. Like Puka Nacua last year is probably a guy that hit, but it's 1 year, But I'm talking big hits, guys that were 4th-round picks that were mainstays. So day 3 receivers have some of the lowest hit rates. And day 3 is more of a wasteland than it is finding key receivers. So 211 receivers have been drafted in the 4th through 7th round. And of the 211 receivers drafted, only 6 have really hit.
I can think of 2. Marquise Colston and Stephon Diggs.
He was a 7th-round pick. Diggs was a 4th. So if we're just going over the last couple of years, the only 6th-round receiver to hit, only one 6th-round receiver, has hit. Not on the 7th. Pop Douglas was a 6th-round pick. But in the 4th and 5th, they're slightly better. 2 out of 52. 3 out of 47. Okay? But these are some of the receivers that have hit in the 4th round. You mentioned Stephon Diggs. Pretty good, right? Makes an impact. We'll see what he does this year with the Texans, but was great with Minnesota and really good. I mean, he was a big part of the development of Josh Allen. Huge part. You know who else was a 4th-round pick? Tyreek Hill. Granted, had some off-field stuff. But you put him into the system, then you bring in a Patrick Mahomes, you got yourself a player. He becomes the highest paid wide receiver in football. And last year was dynamite. You know who else was a 4th-round pick? Amon-Ra St. Brown. And guys who, 4th-rounders, they don't always hit. They don't always hit. But can the Patriots hit on Baker? That's what I'm interested in. I'm sorry, did I miss one?
No, I got one for you. I just want to know if you would consider this a hit or not. 5th-round draft pick, been in the league a couple years, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Only reason why no is because he's been on multiple teams. Like, he's trying to take credit for... He's played with who? Look who he's... This is why I won't give him credit. Who's he played with?
He played for the Packers, and then he played for the Chiefs. So he's played with Rodgers and Mahomes. And now he's with Josh Allen.
So just going back the years, though, Patriots receivers, Deion Branch was here, left, went to Seattle. He was a standout. I mean, so there are guys that play with certain quarterbacks. When they go, they don't really make it, but there are some. I guess my point is this. If you're going to reach on a boomer bust guy, you do it now in the 4th round. I think this kid's got it. And again, I go back to the Alabama days. Like, you make that roster amongst all of those wide receivers, but you bail out because you're not going to play. He wanted to play. When he did play for UCF, he was one of the best players in the conference. So I could be overrating it a little bit. I'm just giving you the factual history that sometimes there are some big hits in the 4th round or even later.
Yeah, and I think it does speak to who he is as a player and who he is as, a guy, that he was at Alabama and he could have just sat there, potentially won national championships, and he said, no, I gotta get mine. I gotta get my name out there, and he went after it. So I think, especially at that position, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yep, and that's why I bring it to the table today. Can they hit on this guy? Jalen Polk, he probably was a second-round pick. I think the Patriots might have reached a little bit for him, and I think there was a relationship there. But as far as Javon Baker goes, though, I think they got a guy here, and I think if Pop Douglas can stay on the field, if he can stay on the field, he'll make everybody else better. But yeah, he played at Alabama for 20 and 21, so over 21 games in 2 seasons. He had 9 catches, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. He entered the transfer portal, originally committed to Kentucky. He would have played with Will Levis. And then switched to Central Florida. His first year at UCF, he started 13 of 14 games, 56 catches, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. As a senior, he was all Big 12, 52 catches, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. And was selected by the Patriots 110. I think this is a boomer bust guy. Right now in camp, he looks like a boomer. Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. Also, we're going to talk to Andrew Callahan, Boston Herald, coming up in just a little bit. Well, let's talk to Leo. He's in the car. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Joe. What's good, man?
How you doing, bud?
I just want to say, wasn't Antonio Brown a late-round find as well? So basically what I'm saying is Javon Baker's confirmed the next AZ. So
confirmed, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Know who else was a 4th-round pick for the Patriots? Do you remember?
Who?
Do you remember Josh Boyce?
No idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm a bit of a youngin'. I was born in 2002, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
How young are you?
21.
Where you going tonight?
Going to actually babysit for someone that's going to see Metallica.
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's cool. Are you getting
Not
paid?
at all.
Are you getting paid?
No.
You're just doing a solid?
For my girlfriend, yeah.
So she's going to Metallica?
No, it's her aunt. It's her aunt.
Oh, but you get to spend the night with your girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, you didn't mention that part.
Yeah.
So you got the house to yourself tonight. He's not answering me. Why didn't you just tell me? Friday night, hanging out with the girl, we get the house to ourselves. That's all you had to say. Metallica is tonight, huh? I love Metallica, not tonight. I mean, maybe it cooled down.
That's going to be a sweaty event tonight.
Dude, I went to Summer Sanitarium I've talked about this, 2002. We got so drunk during the day because it was so hot. Not because we were drinking a lot.
Well, you got to figure they got pyrotechnics too, I would imagine.
Yeah.
They're going to be lighting stuff on fire.
Well, the thing is that he got burned once by pyro, so I don't know. I don't know if you know.
Oh, I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses and Metallica had a concert. Mike Flynn told me he was going to go, and I guess it got canceled. James had a pyrotechnics accident. Burned him. Wasn't good. But for those, I mean, I will tell you this. We played some Metallica last night. I felt it. I'm sure they'll be great. They are a great band to see live. My only thing is I just don't like to listen to the music before I go to the show. Like, I don't want to listen to it. Just don't want to listen to it. I'd rather just show up to the show. And then I hear them. That's what I would like. Talk to Andrew Callahan coming up in just a bit. But Chris is in Worcester. Hey, Chris.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Joe. I'd rather listen to you tonight than listen to the Red Sox because, again, not happy with the trade deadline. Maybe they picked up some small ancillary pieces, but this is a big series against Texas. We got to take 2 out of 3, and if they don't, we're just going to go down because this is a tough stretch for the Sox. But I love listening to Joe Murray driving home from work on a Friday night.
I appreciate you listening to me over the Red Sox.
Yeah, seriously. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate you. It is a big game. First pitch just happened. It was a strike. Joel is visiting from Dallas. Hi, Joel.
Hey, Joe. I want to let you know that I had the perfect day today. I had lunch at Woodman.
Oh, yeah.
Dinner in the North End at La Astoria, and then Mike's Pastries to end the night.
Oh, did you get cannolis?
Indeed.
Oh.
And I'm taking the rest of them back to Dallas tomorrow morning.
That's a great day. So you went up to the North Shore, got your little Woodman, saw the Ipswich River, all that, drove back to Boston, got your Italian fix, got your little bakery, and now you're getting ready to go back home.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to bed soon. Yeah, it was a great day.
That's awesome, my man. I'm glad it all worked out for you. And, I love a cannoli barrel. Oh, do you get chocolate chips on them or plain?
Well, I got chocolate chips and pistachio.
The powder, too, yeah. Well, that's how you do it, Joel. I'm glad you had a good time. Have a good trip.
Enjoy your show, bud.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. It's a hell of a day right there. Thought he was going to tell me he's going to Metallica, then he's going home. Let's hear what Andrew Callahan's doing. I know he was over at Gillette earlier today. He's from the Boston Herald. We'll talk to him coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz here tonight. I got the Red Sox on right now. Already down 1-0. We were just talking Patriots. I was saying maybe they found something in the fourth round. There's been a history of boom or bust receivers in the fourth round that are throughout the NFL. So we'll ask a man who's been down at practice. I know he pinched it earlier today. He's from the Boston Herald. He's Andrew Callahan. I know you were on earlier today, Andrew. Help it out a little bit, man. So you're going to have a little bit more time to talk. No one's going to interrupt you. But opening take here, Andrew, I think they might have a find here in Javon Baker. And I came up with some guys that have been fourth-round picks. Stephon Diggs, Amon Sam Brown, Tyreek Hill. The story of Javon Baker could, by being from Alabama, playing at UCF, could it be a guy that breaks through and potentially makes an impact with this team?
Sure, Joe. Look, I'm all in. I love that list. I think we got a ways to go, not to pull out one of Bill's more underrated favorite cliches now that he's gone. Just because, look, I think Javon Baker so far in camp has had the higher ceiling, the flashes between him and Jalen Polka, obviously went in the second round. But he's also like the friend you can count on for a great time or also just might disappear because he had just one catch today in team periods, 2 out of 5 the other day. So it's been a little bit more of a roller coaster with Baker, but the way he moves relative to the rest of the group is definitely different.
Do you think it was different today because Pop Douglas was a part of the mix? You would figure Pop Douglas would open things up for some other receivers. Are you saying that Baker didn't get open with Pop on the field as well?
Yeah, and you know what? It's also a matter of reps, right? Like Pop Douglas has been out of team periods for most of camp because he's had a small hand injury, and that's better. This was the first day he was in for 11 on 11s and 7 on 7s. So everyone gets bumped down a bit, and Baker did run with the starters towards the end, when Jacoby Brissett has his 2-minute drill, ends with a touchdown pass to Pop Douglas. But it's an amazing thing, Joe, when you have a receiver like Pop who can get open against man coverage, separate immediately, and work over the middle of the field. And so he had 5 catches today. His debut practice in team periods just takes off. 2 touchdowns from Brissett, another catch from Drake May. He had an excellent day, and I think it's as we expected. He's the best receiver in the Patriots.
All right, you mentioned a few things: ceiling, perception, practice. Is that some of the things, I guess, are coming out from the media? Fans are taking it differently or only hearing what they want to hear? But I'll just start with ceiling. People seem to be a little bit upset with the progress of Drake May. Obviously, the last couple of days he's improved. But this is a guy that has only really played 20-something college games and really never ran a huddle. So as far as actually having reps, he's never had that. So when I was there, I saw a guy that has huge upside and isn't ready to go. When I think back to Mac Jones, he was ready to go but had a ceiling. Would you say that that's kind of the perception right now that's going on with Drake May at practice?
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on with Drake May at practice. And just to go back to Mac Jones for a second, because I know it's been a very common comparison, he didn't really pull away from Cam Newton until the end of the summer. It was a summer-long process through training camp, through the preseason, the Giants' joint practices when Cam was gone because of some COVID rule none of us remember anymore, and Mac takes over, and you're like, oh, that's the guy shredding a real NFL defense right there. He's going to start. Now, for Drake, not only is he much younger than Mac, this dude is 21 years old. He did throw more passes in college, but he had fewer years working against his defense, which is very different, as you know, at Alabama versus North Carolina. And not to mention the system was different, not just his sophomore year to his, redshirt sophomore year, redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore, but he's not running a huddle. These are look at the sideline, get the play call and go. It's the language, it's the teammates, it's the speed, it's going under center that he's trying to get everything. And so my measure for his success right now, I don't need to see the highlight stuff. I know he can do. It's great. That'll be great when we see it. I need to see the boring. I want to see the checkdowns. I want to see him have tighter footwork. And so he was 3 of 11 with a pick on Monday. He's really improved today. He was 10 of 14 in team periods. And it was mostly stuff within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. But that's fine. Be steady, be boring, and then I would say go on to the next level where we know that potential, that ceiling that we're talking about, will eventually come.
One thing I noticed when I was there, his body language, it's really good. When he makes a mistake, he takes ownership. On Sunday when I was there, him and Osborne kind of had a miscommunication. After practice, they're working together on it. I just don't remember seeing that in the past, and if it's happened, correct me on it, but he's a guy that I think's taking accountability and wants to learn. His body language, I think, is one thing that truly stands out in a good way.
Yeah, and how many times do we say over the last 2 years, not to go back to Mac when I said that's not a great reference point, but body language was an issue, right? And that just not only does it say something to the media and the fans, which at some point, if you're in the building and who cares about that? But it's what it says to your teammates about your confidence in yourself and your confidence in them. And so, look, Drake May has stayed after for a lot of practices, and that is right up there with the so-and-so is a problem for social media catnip. I don't know if it's him staying an extra 10, 15 minutes is going to help win games, but I know it will help win him over his teammates. And right now, we even heard Mike Onwenu talk to the NFL Network today. He's just a good dude, and he doesn't carry himself too high or too low. So for a rookie, he's having all this thrown at him, not to ride the roller coaster that we see with his performance, but he's got a steady hand. That's huge.
Andrew Callahan joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, over from the Boston Herald. I've been pretty critical of some of the commentary from Colin Cowherd and also maybe what the Boston Globe wrote regarding Joe Milton. I just don't agree. When I was at camp, I know who the third overall pick was. Do you have a take on the Joe Milton, Drake May comments that are out there, and what do you think about Joe Milton's performance so far?
Yeah, look, I'll say anyone at camp, of course, is entitled to their own opinion. People who are saying that, I would just trust people who have been there every day. And like you said, there are folks at the Globe who feel that way. What I'll also tell you is this. I've been charting every single snap, and that's who's throwing the ball, who's catching it, what the route is, and who's on defense. And from all that information I have in my notes, that only half of which I can read right now after 8 days in 100-degree heat, is that Drake May definitively has been performing better than Joe Milton. And it's not just because Joe Milton in Drake May's 3 worst practices had the same number of sacks and the same number of picks, despite throwing the ball 26 fewer times. It's that he's going against third and fourth stringers, and Drake May is going against starters and second teamers. So it's the level of competition, it's the amount of reps that he's getting. Oh, and Joe Milton also didn't have a pass more than 10 yards down the field in that stretch when Drake May was at his worst, which beforehand, the first 3 practices, all non-padded, you'd be like, oh, yeah, Drake May is definitely the better quarterback. Now, this is not to dump at all whatsoever, 0.0% on Joe Milton. Patriots fans should be rooting for both of them to be as good as possible. And if one of them ends up starting this year, hopefully it's because they earned it. It's not because of injury or Jacoby Brissett fell apart. I'm just saying, on balance, for 8 practices, Drake May has been the better quarterback.
Is Joe Milton doing anything to make the team, and how do you see it finishing off? Do you think they keep 3 quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think they keep 3. And honestly, Joe, he's doing enough because his job is not to win the starting job. It's not even be the backup. Just be better than Bailey Zappi. And honestly, if he's a little worse than Bailey, but because he's physically more gifted, obviously more inexperienced, they feel like there's more clay there that they can mold versus Zappi kind of is what he is in his 3rd year. He'll get the job over Zappi. And to that point, and this is just one practice, we should never blow up over any practice, whether it's good or bad. He was the only quarterback after May and Brissett to get reps in team periods. There were only 3, but Zappi stood on the side and did nothing during that stretch.
That makes me sad. I'm a Bailey Zappi guy. I actually think he could fit in the Van Pelt system, so that was going to be my next question. Do you think the Van Pelt system fits Drake May? I know I'm kind of bouncing around the quarterbacks here, but do you think the system fits any quarterback better, or do you think it just fits what Jacoby Brissett is doing right now?
No, I think it fits all of them in the way that it's pretty quarterback friendly, right? I mean, I think that's the most underrated part of what, you go a big umbrella, right? Like the giant tree of coaching and the offensive scheme. This is the Shanahan system. It's off of one of the branches. A lot of outside zone. This is old like Mike Shanahan, not what Kyle's doing now, which honestly is not that similar to what we see at Patriots training camp, but it's outside zone run game, bootleg play action off of that. And then you've got, 1 or 2 reads. And the core passing game, Joe, is really even goes back to the 70s and early 80s. It's traditional West Coast in addition to the play action on the outside zone. So this is stuff that's been repped. It's been drilled. All of the drills underpinning this stuff is basic, tried and true things. So most quarterbacks should be able to do this. And even though Bailey Zappi looks and plays a whole lot different than Joe Milton or Drake May or Jacoby Brissett, I think all of them could run it.
All right, Andrew, one more for you. I thank you for joining us on a Friday night. It feels like everyone's bailed out of here, so I appreciate that you gave us some time tonight. I really do. And everyone's at Metallica, too, so that's another thing. Surprised you're not
Doug
there.
Hyde's there, too. I know you've had him on before. I'm just here working at home before I can go back to Foxborough tomorrow.
Excellent coverage by everybody over at the Herald, of course. But I don't know if Gerard Mayo can coach. I don't know. On fourth down decisions, is he going to be the guy that says go for it? Is he going to be the one who calls the play? I know nothing about Mayo as a head coach. Have you seen anything at camp that at least gives you the idea that he could make decisions and be a head coach in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't think anyone has. And this is similar to the May conversation through 1 week. Like, when in NFL history has anything been decided after 8 practices and 3 of them being in pads? And like, his success will be shown in how his players perform and how his assistants organize game plans, call things, and like you mentioned, game management. Well, if we're going off of game management, we don't know until they kick off in Cincinnati in week 1 of the first weekend in September, and that's a ways away. So I would just say it's patience, and it's not so much what I see or anyone else sees who's covering training camp. It's what you hear. And players, of course, are not dumb enough to just blast their boss in public. If you were to ask them, hey, how's it been with Gerard Mayo? But to a man, I'll tell you, Joe, and I believe some of this, they all have immense buy-in in what Gerard is doing. Not only how he's treating them, which is still running in 90 degrees after practice, but how he's going about his business inside the building, how they bought in. Even Bill Pepper said today when he first got here and Mayo was still an assistant. And to that point, the last thing I'll say is Matt Judon practiced in full pads today, despite the contract issue, despite him making a mess on Monday, angry tweets on Wednesday. And that's something he didn't do last year when he also had a contract dispute with Bill Belichick, because he played hardball with Bill because Bill was playing hardball. We know Mayo's not doing the same thing. And so Judon practicing today in pads under that contract and risking injury, to me, is the greatest sign of that buy-in. If you don't believe me, Judon was out there in a way that he wasn't for Bill last year, and I think that's big.
Do you think they want to keep him? Is that kind of why he's out there?
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't, I would think that they would have traded him either, before or during the draft in April, right? Or now. Hey, you made a mess on Monday. Teams are going to be calling. I had an NFC executive tell me this week he'd be worth a 3rd-round pick. Others disagree. But if you get into like the late 3rd round, I think they would have done it by now if they really wanted to do it. But I think he's the last guy who's going to get an extension, and I think they want to make it happen and then go forward and start with the next step of their rebuild.
Yeah, not often a guy can call the team liars and then is back out there the next day, but that is exactly what happened with Matthew Judon. He's Andrew Callahan. You can read all his work over at the Boston Herald. Andrew, appreciate you joining us on a Friday night, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Sounds good, Joe. Have a good weekend.
All right, he's Andrew Callahan, everybody. He does a great job over at the Boston Herald, and gave us an honest opinion of what is going on down at Gillette. He was sources on the ground, charting every throw that happens. I don't know if I could chart every throw. I don't know if I could do that. I just kind of eyeball it and then go on my merry way. Anyways, we'll tell you what's going on in the Red Sox game right now and whatever else is going on in the world. Coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox lead the Texas Rangers right now 2-1 in the second inning. Wilyer Abreu went deep. 2-1 lead at the moment.
All-NBA the last 3 years. In the process, swept KD one of those years. Okay, let's keep that in mind. And is the reigning, defending NBA champion, who just finished averaging near 27 points per game, who was the second best player to Kevin Durant in the games in Tokyo. And before you even go out for warm-ups, you're letting him know, we got 10 players we gonna play before you. We might not get to you. You have any idea how insulting that is?
Including a replacement player in Derek White, who's
now, mind you.
I'm supporting you.
I know, I feel you, and I appreciate that, but I'm getting at her right now. Because here's the deal. The Boston Celtics are the reigning defending champion. Who's the number one option? Jason Tatum. Who defers to Jason Tatum? Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White. 2 players from the Boston Celtics that defer to him 8 months out of the year. He playing behind. That don't make no damn sense.
I'm Stephen A. Smith. It's your daily reminder that the Celtics won the NBA championship. It's something we're going to do here every night. Don't forget about it. I feel like it's a low night, but we got a crowd. I mean, the crowd is the chat is light tonight. But I see guys in there. Chuck, JP's in there. Never heard of Carrie Ann. Hello. Brokerage Babe, I already mentioned you. Same old characters in there. Everett Strauss, never heard of that. It's Tommy and Lynn's birthday. Well, we'll save that for musings later on tonight. Anyways, Stephen A. not happy. He was fired up today. He got some sort of introduction at a where was he? I'll look it up where it was, but just a reminder, I never cared about Olympic basketball, Team USA basketball. The only time I ever did was 1992 when those McDonald's cups came out. It was the only time. But I love when Stephen A. goes off. You have any idea how insulting that is? Stephen A. calls out Steve Kerr. He called out Steve Kerr for benching Jason Tatum against Serbia. You're telling me with a straight face, Steve Kerr, I got 10 dudes in the world that I'm going to play on the court before Jason Tatum? That was the original one. Then, of course, today, he was feeling it today. And the question, Steve Kerr creating problems with the rotation. Let's answer that directly. You damn right, is what he said. Tatum ain't even 28. The man has been to 5 conference finals. We know his resume. He went on to explain that the U.S. men's basketball team features 2 current Celtics players who aren't even on Tatum's level. And like many U.S. fans, he can't seem to understand why Drew Holiday and Derek White got playing time over Tatum. Here's where I'm going with this, guys. Jaylen Brown wants Stephen A. to state his sources. Sounds like there may have been a little of, I don't want to call it foreshadowing, but Stephen A. may have been ahead of the game on this Jaylen Brown Team USA thing. And now I think that maybe he's sniffing something out. Like for him to call out Steve Kerr, I feel like he knows something. I'm calling it a conspiracy. I think Stephen A. knows something that's going on and is doubling down on saying something about Steve Kerr. That's my take. I think he knows something. Something happened. Quiet protest? I don't know. By the way, I don't know if Steve Kerr would go near the protest thing because it is about Jaylen Brown. So the fact he even mentioned Jaylen Brown's a little bit surprising. But anyways, that's my take. I don't mean to distract you. I feel that he knows something. I think Stephen A. knows something that's going on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Stephen A. doesn't come out that hot if he's not, super confident. And it doesn't even have to be that he knows something. It's just that you watch basketball and you say you're kind of a moron if you can't find a way to get Jason Tatum into the starting lineup. I understand it's Team USA. I understand it's a loaded roster. But he's Jason Tatum. He's not He's not Derek White, and no offense to Derek White. We love Derek White, but I'm so sick of hearing about Steve Kerr and his rotations. I think you're kind of an idiot if you can't find a spot on your basketball team for Jason Tatum.
My only take on it is, if you didn't want to have a controversy, why'd you do it? I think something happened. I think Stephen A. Smith sniffed it out, and he's blaming Steve Kerr.
When Wendy says, like, Steve Kerr's doing a great job, this is all I can hear.
You sure about that?
You're right. Neil is still here tonight.
Friday Night Crew, me, you, Luis, and Neil.
Yeah,
Big Four.
Everybody is gone.
Joe, everybody was gone when I got here.
Everybody is gone. Oh, did you see Jaylen Brown's new sneakers?
Yes, I thought they looked pretty good.
What, are they a brand?
That I don't know.
Are they his own brand?
Well, maybe. We got some Jaylen Brown sneakers on the way.
Wonder if they make those in a size 16. Wide. Just walking around in Jaylen Brown sneakers.
I got a pair of Tatums at home.
I got the new JBs, man. I smell a conspiracy. I think something's going on, and Stephen A. knows. And you know what? Remember the guy who got pissed about us going at Steve Kerr the other night? I'll welcome those calls tonight, too. At 617-779-0985. I'll welcome the call. What's so great that he's doing? Like, Eric Spoelstra could do this. And by the way, Joe Mazzulla, he'd have those boys running up and down the court shooting threes.
They'd be shooting a lot more threes than they have been.
They'd be winning by 50. Like the old 92 team did. Still can't believe we're talking about Team USA basketball. I feel like they made it this way. Anyways, you know what we got next? In or out? Coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Don't go anywhere. There's more.
Success is guaranteed.
It's just us. We're going to get him on? I love this.
I'm for it.
All right.
Well, let me find a pair of headphones. We'll get them.
I have one that is the backup pair.
Out with Joe and Neil. Could have added some more questions.
I know, huh? Here you go, Neil. Go sit over there. Go sit in that one right in the corner. This is great. Well, I don't know. Actually, you're going to need those. You're going to need those. All right. This should be fun. This should be fun. I may have lost my own headphones here, but we'll get that squared away here.
Thank you, James.
This feels like a long time coming that we get Neil in studio.
It's been a while.
Throwing it back tonight, Friday Night Throwback Edition. So we will start in or out. We'll start locally. Why not? I saw this announced on Twitter earlier today from one John Rothstein, and that is that Boston College in UMass will meet in a neutral site college basketball game during the 25-26 season. So, gentlemen, are we in or out on bringing back a little BC-UMass college basketball rivalry?
And we need this. We need this locally. And here's the deal. I don't really know much about BC these days. I know that Frank Martin's at UMass. I feel a UMass beatdown of BC is coming, and that is good for college basketball and locally. In on that.
I love any time there's local events where two teams in the same market are playing against each other. I grew up in New York. Subway Series was always awesome. I don't care on what level it is, college, professional. It's always fun when two teams in town are against each other.
There it is. Neil joining us here, our traffic guy that's burning the midnight oil. We won't keep you. We'll try not to keep you past 9.
That's okay.
What else you got tonight, Skaz?
All right, I know we have two wrestling fans in the studio, so we'll head to this one. They are making a Gawker Hulk Hogan movie. So, Hulk Hogan, not the best. The Gawker situation, certainly interesting. But yes, it is being made into a movie. And one Ben Affleck wants to play Hulk Hogan. Are we in or out on Ben Affleck as Hulk Hogan?
That's an out. Now, listen. What are they going to... Is he going to, get the hat on and the pink... and the blonde hair and the... What you going to do, brother? No, I need somebody with big pythons. Out.
See, now, I'm out. First of all, I'm out on anything Hulk Hogan pretty much these days.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude's a little weird. But, that being said, the thought of Ben Affleck maybe doing a method acting thing where he shaves the top of his head and grows that nice long blonde hair, pretty funny. But let's see, who would it be then, Joe? If who muscle-wise that's already an actor, maybe non-wrestler, do you think it could be?
Who's the guy that plays Reacher? That guy's a moose.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know his name, but he is a monster of a man.
What is his name? I can't think of his name. Alan.
Yes, Alan. Yeah,
Richmond or something.
Something like that. Yeah, that guy's huge.
I don't know why Jason Momoa going blonde popped in my head. I don't know why. I don't know if he's tall enough.
Yeah, let's
But
see.
a Hulk Hogan.
I was shocked when I looked it up. Hulk Hogan's 6'7". I would not have guessed he was that tall.
Is he really? Wow.
That's what he's listed at.
He's 300. Yeah, he's
6'7".
a heavyweight, man.
I know. No, I know he's. I just didn't realize he was that tall. I feel like I've seen him in person. I don't remember him being that towering over me. But yeah, that's.
That's what happens when you get older.
Yeah.
But Ben
Affleck hunched over. But then the other thing to think of is Hulk was never really the most ripped guy, at least in the stomach and stuff, right? Wasn't he always kind of a little bit?
Yeah, he had a little bit of thickness.
So you don't necessarily need the super cut guy like a Momoa. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I guess probably you don't really need the. Who could play Hulk Hogan?
I mean, in the movie The Wrestler, what's his name?
Was Mickey Rooney?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yes.
Yeah.
Mickey
He was
Rourke.
he kind of had the Hogan thing going on a little bit in that movie, body wise and stuff.
That's true. And Zac Efron did a great job in the.
Oh yeah, in that new the
Van.
Was it
Von
Iron
Eric's.
Claw or
yeah?
I wonder who. That's a good one. I'm going to think about that. But I'm out. But is it because why Ben Affleck? How'd that name come up?
Yeah, that is weird. Is he just a huge Hogan fan or wrestling fan from back in the day, or he just thinks he really has that character locked in?
Do you think Chris Hemsworth could do it?
Ooh.
He's probably a bigger guy, right?
Oh yeah.
What
That
about
could
the
work.
dude?
And he's funny, so that.
The Magic Mike guy.
Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum.
I don't know if he's big enough. I feel like he might be sneaky, not as tall as you think.
He's cut too, so.
Actually, what's his name, Joe Manganiello.
Oh yeah.
Ah, yes.
He might be okay at that too. You reminded me
Big
of Magic
wrestling
Mike.
fan.
Yeah, I could see that.
Friend of the Calhoun.
Yeah.
Everyone's a friend of the Calhoun. All right, we'll head to the Olympics for this one. Joe, I believe you put this in Slack late last night, but apparently to end the Olympic ceremonies, Tom Cruise will be performing a stunt where he skydives into the Hollywood sign to signify the passing of the Olympics from Paris to L.A. So, gentlemen, are we in or out on Tom Cruise parachuting into the Hollywood sign?
Oh, listen. I mean, Lady Gaga jumped into the stand, jumped into your screen at the Super Bowl. So Tom Cruise has to do this. He doesn't have a guy that could do it for him. I don't know. I was a wrestling fan. When I think of these things, I can only think of Owen Hart.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So that's the first thing that popped in my head. And I hate to get real morbid on you there.
I know.
So I'm out.
Yeah, but Tom just loves putting his life on the line to entertain the people. So I just
we should be in on that.
I'm like, should we encourage him? I don't know, but he's just one of those guys. You could watch him do. You could watch him do anything, and I don't know. I might be in on this one, Joe. I'm sorry.
No. There's no rights or wrongs with in or out.
No,
Tom
listen.
Cruise.
In this studio, you're right.
No. That's don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Don't encourage you.
No, it's just here's the deal. I need Tom Cruise to do it.
He does feel like the rare guy, though, where he would be the one asking to do that. He wants to do it.
I want the guy from Ocean's 11 who can do acrobatic things. I want that guy, not Tom Cruise.
But Tom, he studies and practices, and I mean, if you watch the outtakes from the Mission Impossible movies and stuff like that, I mean, the man does stunts with broken bones and stuff. He's gonna do it. It's got to be him, and he's like the unofficial mayor of Hollywood. Because he, even during COVID and stuff, he was just like, we're gonna get this industry going, and it's up to me to do it. So he's representing his.
So
people.
You're in on Tom Cruise.
I'm in on him. I'm in on him diving. What's he? Skaz, what is he doing? Is he diving through the O or something?
I believe
what's
the report I read was they're going to use a stunt double maybe, to ride a motorcycle into the stadium and then in Paris and then get the torch, and then they're going to cut to a prepackaged thing of Tom Cruise on a plane flying to LA and then jumping out of that plane towards the Hollywood sign is what I read. So yeah, it's a whole production.
We're going to get the Mission Impossible music too?
Yeah, of course.
1,000%, yeah. It's fun. I don't know. I'm in, as
fine. It's fun. Fine.
Assuming Tom is well at the end.
Yes. I'd be worried.
Yes. Hindsight could be a different story here, but yeah.
What else you got, Skaz?
All right, we'll head to HBO for this one. Me and Neil often talk shows and movies, so I saw a new HBO series is coming, and it is a prequel series to the It movies, and it will be called Welcome to Derry, focused on the clown's first arrival, I believe. So are we in or out on Welcome to Derry, It prequel series?
I don't know. This one I might be out on because I like the first It remake. I like the original back in the 80s with Tim Curry as the clown, and that second movie I wasn't crazy about. And
is the second one where it's Bill Hader and stuff, the older, they're grown up?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
That one was whack.
Yeah, but which is funny because I thought the first kind of I think the original the part with the kids is the fun part and the scary part because in that old movie I feel like it was the same way too, and but I'm kind of might be out on it because I don't know, whenever they build out the lore on this stuff sometimes it never lives up to what you had in your head.
I always say I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I just want to eat the sausage.
Yeah.
I know that there's a scary little creature under the sword. I know that. I don't want to know how it got there or the story or origin behind it. I don't need to. I'm out.
Yeah, when you dig into that stuff so deep, it loses its scariness. It's the fact that it's hidden. It's it's like the shark in Jaws. The fact that you didn't see it is what makes it scarier, right?
Yes, and that Psycho, the original Psycho.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with movies nowadays is we knew what happened. We didn't need to see it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like, let us. You don't have to explain. Like, you don't have to spoon feed us every little thing. Let us just. I think those are some of my favorite movies. Are the ones where like, what happened, or I don't understand like where this guy came from or why he's here. But in the end, you just. It's just a great story sometimes that leaves you maybe with some questions, but that's okay.
All right. Any more, guys?
All right, we'll end with this one tonight. Might as well do a little sports. So the NFL released their top 100 list tonight, the final 10. I know it's a list we've all been anxiously awaiting. And coming in at number 4 in the NFL top 100 was Patrick Mahomes. So, gentlemen, are we in or out on Patrick Mahomes being ranked 4th in the NFL top 100?
I mean, I think he's the best player in the league.
I'm out in terms of him being 4. I'm in on him being number 1.
Yeah, me too.
Who's 1 through 3, guys?
1 through 3. Number 3, Christian McCaffrey, who had a great year, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. Again, had a great year, but not Patrick Mahomes.
Can't win a playoff game.
And number 1 was Tyreek Hill.
I mean, Hill was a dominant player in the league, no doubt. Like, if he got Offensive Player of the Year, fine. But I would not. Patrick Mahomes, do I have to tell you again? In every year of his career, he's either gone to the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, or lost in the conference final. Like, his resume is mint.
This is like those things back when in the teens where it was like Tom Brady was not ranked number 1 and stuff like that. Sometimes it's like he's the guy you want. Mahomes is the guy you want. If you could have any person on your team right now, who would it be? And that's any team. I feel like would want this guy on their team. That makes him number 1.
Real quick, I wanted to tell you I hate clowns.
Oh, so you're definitely out on it.
I hate clowns, and it started with a friend. I slept over his house as a kid, and he had clown wallpaper, and I just could
Big
not
out
sleep.
on that. Clown wallpaper? No, thank you.
Couldn't sleep, dude. It freaks me out. Clowns aren't cool. Krusty the Clown was cool.
Is it like the number 1 scary clown? He has to be, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially that. I mean, if you're young, young enough / old enough, if you were young enough at the time, that Tim Curry clown with his teeth as a kid was scary, and that was like on regular television. I think it was on CBS or something. It was a miniseries, and scary. And I think that's where I don't know this, but I assume that's where some people's fear of clowns comes from, is from that show. Plus, there's always those. Those old movies or old kids TV shows like from the 50s that are black and white, where clowns were kind of like these mascots for kids TV shows, and I think those probably scared kids too, because just that black and white grainy footage would be frightening to children.
Pennywise, obviously, when I was a kid, I watched Bozo the Clown all the time.
Oh yeah.
And then there was Oleg. I don't know if you remember Oleg. Emmett Kelly was like that sad clown. And then Glenn Little was the clown that had like the cone party hat. Yeah, those are the black and white guys that you're talking about. They freaked me out.
Yeah, there's something about them. They were just little disconcerting. Yeah.
By the way, you guys in or out on, I don't know if you heard about this new alien footage that we were talking about the other night, guys, in Ibiza.
Oh, there's more?
Well, they have a footage, and it looks like a diamond, not like a solar. Like, you know how like when people draw like a... So there's new footage out there.
I thought you were talking about the new Alien movie coming out.
No, is there a new Alien movie?
Alien Romulus, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's in a few weeks, I think.
Is Sigourney Weaver in it?
Not...
Is she with us still?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yep. She was just in The Way of Water, Avatar: The Way of Water.
Oh!
She was the voice of one of the characters in that movie.
She was always looking for the Keymaster.
Yep, she was looking for the Keymaster. And speaking of youth, she was a great, what a great hero in those first 2 Alien movies. I love those movies. Yeah.
All right, Neil. When's the last time you've been on the air?
It's got to be many years. And by the way, Joe, I want to tell you, when we worked in the other building, or a few buildings ago, I should say, I had to play a clown for a bit in a video where I was playing a scary clown to one of the guys on air. So I got to be that character.
Did you put makeup on and everything?
I put makeup on.
Hair?
Yep. I shaved my beard for it too, I think. So yeah. And yep, they put the hair on me and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you know what clown
I'm a big guy, so I was supposed to be
perfect.
intimidating. Yeah.
Big shoes or no?
I was waist up.
Waist up.
The costume they got for me was like a slip over the front, and there was no way it was going around my whole waist. So
I can't believe with all the McDonald's talk that we've done this week about McDonald's Land, I haven't mentioned Ronald as a clown.
He's a scary clown.
Now, do you know who the original Ronald was? I believe it was Willard Scott, who was who was the weather guy from. I think he was the original Ronald McDonald back then. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, just a little Ronald trivia there that I probably hear every year.
No, we
at the
like this.
Thanksgiving parade.
We got into McDonald's Land the other night, and we did a whole thing on Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, I talked to my kids about that. We were trying to figure out. They were trying to figure out what Grimace was. I said,
He's a taste bud.
He's a taste bud.
Is that what he
We
is?
learned that this week. I was just about to ask. Do you know what Grimace is?
Is now because I know the whole Grimace thing with the Mets right now, but was he related to Shakes originally? Like, was he like a shake?
Yes, it was like a Grimace shake or something was his introduction, and apparently he is a giant taste bud. I did not know that until this week.
Wow, that is weird.
There's the Hamburglar. Then there was the one that looked like Miss Piggy that I can't remember.
Early Bird or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Birdo is Mario.
You know who was a cool clown, too? Homie the Clown. From In Living Color.
from In Living Color. Oh,
Damon
yeah.
Wayans.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
Homie the Clown, don't mess around.
Homie, don't play that.
I think of Scary Joe Davola from Seinfeld, the guy that was like haunting
that's right.
Jerry.
You know who else was a great clown? And I actually don't know if he was a clown, but did you ever see the House of what was the House of a Thousand Corpses?
House of
Part two?
Sid Haig was his name. I think something like
Every
that.
time I see that guy, I think of Bird. I don't know why. He looks like him, but that guy played a really good clown.
Yeah, he was Uncle. Oh, jeez, what was it?
It's Creeper.
I can't remember. Yeah,
Captain Spaulding?
Captain Spaulding. There
that's
you
right.
go.
Yeah, he was those movies. That was a Rob Zombie movie from like I don't know, it's like 20 years ago now almost. But yeah, it was pretty scary that one. And you know who's in that? Rainn Wilson is in that.
Yes.
And yeah, that was a good. That was yeah, that was a pretty scary movie.
I like that was House of a Thousand Corpses. I like that.
And they had two. I think they had two sequels to that movie too.
He's no longer with us.
No, he passed relatively recently. I think.
Yeah,
80 years old though. It's a good run.
Good life. It's a good clown life.
He was a classic B movie actor. I think from like horror movie actor from back in the day.
All right, there's In or Out tonight with Neil. Neil, thank you, sir. Go home.
Thank you for having me.
This was fun.
I appreciate it.
Nobody's here. We're here every night on Fridays. It's just us. So
yeah,
if you're kicking around, we just come up with topics that have nothing sometimes to do with sports, sometimes not.
There you go. I know a little bit about everything. So,
that's why we put you in the chair.
But I know a lot about nothing. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I don't know where the stuff that comes in my brain. It just happens.
Stream of consciousness.
Out on clowns, though. That's something that we all can agree on.
All right, I'm with you.
All right, we got to take a look at the Sports Hub headlines. We're a little late, but that's fine. It's Friday night. Nobody's here. Thank you, Neil. Skaz. Let's get to the Sports Hub headlines.
From the Town Fair Tire Studio, relatable, reliable, and even relentless at times.
We're doing it live.
This is Boston's home for sports. WBC FM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Red Sox, they have a lead right now. 6-3 over the Texas Rangers. Need a big one tonight. Cutter Crawford on the mound for the Sox to begin a 6-game road trip. Day 8 of Patriots training camp is in the books today. Drake May did have some improvements today. Javon Baker had a good day. Pop Douglas also out there. Matthew Judon did see reps on defense. And the Boston Celtics have signed a 2-way contract with Antoine Watson, who they drafted in the second round. Headlines, they are brought to you by our good friends over at Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update is in 30 minutes.
Let's talk turkey, shall we?
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, in the sports industry, that's what you say.
Got your talking head right here, buddy. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're going to talk to Leroy Irvin coming up in a little bit. We're doing postgame this year again. So we'll talk about that. Out on clouds. I think we can all agree on that. Got the Red Sox on there winning. Let's see. JP's in there talking about Modern Family. Riz called Zolak a clown. Imagine Zolak the clown. Joe versus the camera. Yes, we're dealing with camera issues. Out on clowns, though. That's how I feel. The phone number here is 617-779-0985. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. Skaz is here. I'm here as well. We do have the final song of the summer coming up soon, so you don't want to miss that. That would be very good. I'm very interested to know what other song we have tonight. Hammerstein Bergerman, just said Joey to me. I don't know who that is. Hammerstein Bergerman, but that's a cool name. I like that. How about Neil?
Great. I like the guest in or out. Might have to mix that in every once in a while.
Yeah, whoever's in the... Yeah,
who's ever here.
Whoever's here.
Come on in.
Come on in. I'm down with that. My I don't want to do musings right now, but I've had some technical difficulties today.
Joe, you and those headphones. What, started on Wednesday, maybe?
I just
You've
am
been
not
fighting
ready to,
these things.
I'm not ready to vent on them yet.
We have an interesting, if it's what I think it is, musings tonight. I saw quite a story from a movie theater.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get it.
Quite something.
We got Trey. He's in Boston. He wants to talk about clowns. Hey, Trey.
So, how you doing, fellas?
Good.
I know you're out on the clown, but the best clown is the Joker. That's the best clown. And then, since you're out on clowns, can you rank the Jokers out of all of the actors?
All right. I still think Jack was the best. That's just an opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong.
Heath is the best, sorry.
And Heath was outstanding.
He was clutch.
He crushed. Of course he did, with the blades in his mouth and all that, and the whole burning down the hospital. That was awesome. I don't know why I still go Jack for some reason. It was just more acting, or I don't know. I don't want to actually compare that. There was just something about Jack as the Joker that was so good.
What do you think about the weirdo clown? What's his name? So the last line.
Oh yeah, what's his name there? What's his name?
He lost a lot of weight just to do the part.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on that guy? You mean Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah.
That was great. I can't wait for the next one.
There's another one?
I heard there may be another one.
Oh, yeah.
With Lady Gaga.
With Lady Gaga, that's right. You know who kind of reminds me of the Joker every once in a while? You watch wrestling? Seth Rollins.
All right, fellas, I'm moving to him.
He's out. Okay, guys. See ya. No more wrestling talk. Cam's in Clinton. Hey, Cam.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
How you doing?
Nah, not too bad, not too bad. I was going to talk about Red Sox stuff. So, at the deadline, we got a catcher. We already got Connor Wong. Why did we go after? That was the best trade that we made. Why didn't we get a relief pitcher? We need an established relief pitcher. I'm done with the Red Sox.
They got two of them.
I know, but they're not any like household names, you know?
Yeah, but who is a household name in baseball?
I guess that's true.
You're out on the Red Sox.
No, I still think I'm with them making playoffs.
Cam,
I think they're still going to make it.
Cam, I want you to know this. They got Jansen the catcher because he's a right-handed hitter and he's an upgrade at catcher over Reese McGuire. That's why they got, and they want to play Connor Wong potentially in other positions.
Oh, okay.
And did you see what he did with Brian Bayo behind the plate the other night?
I did, yeah. Bayo, what did he strike out? 10 in a row?
7, but it was Jansen that was behind the plate that helped him.
Okay. All right.
And Sims helped them get out of a jam the other night, the guy they got from the Reds, and then tonight They have their other pitcher that is joining them tonight, who's pitched in the playoffs 5 times and is very good.
All right, you might have sold me on those guys then, Joe. Hey, before you hang up, can I give you my best Tony Maz impression?
Sure. It's Friday night.
It's a fail all around. Fail, fail, fail.
That's not bad. Not bad. Brendan on the South Shore on clowns.
Hey, Joe, just really quick. So not really a scary clown, but just from my childhood, a clown I hated was that antagonist in Air Bud who played Norm Snively. Just because, what are you doing, like, beating and hating on a golden retriever? I don't know. That was just a good movie, formative years, and I always hated clowns ever since that.
That clown bothered you?
Yeah. Never really. I get the scared part of it, like, Pennywise and everything kind of scary, and clowns are just weird if you're a clown in real life. But, man, a clown beating on a dog? Like, what are we doing here?
No, I love dogs.
Yeah, that was Michael Jeter, who's in The Green Mile. He's the guy, I believe, that has the mouse or the rat in The Green Mile. Pretty good actor, but yes, I do remember that clown, and I do remember hating him as a child because of the way he treated Air Bud. So I would co-sign that one. He's definitely not the scariest clown, but a bad guy, bad clown.
Our buddy Hooch just reached out to me. Said that he got Auto Pizza. I've been talking about Auto Pizza. There's one in West Roxbury now. Oh, sorry, Newton. I got Kevin on the mind. Do you know that every time I see Kevin, we have a mutual friend? Let's talk to Leroy. Leroy Irvin from Hot 96.9 joining us next on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Boom, 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 boom. If you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. I love that show.
Everything Paris, Millennials, Ducats, Squads.
It's Leroy Irvin on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline. Leroy!
What's up, man? What's going on?
That made everybody smile, right?
Oh, my God. I'm sitting here smiling, cracking up. If I'm going to be honest, man, Joe, I'm talking to you, and at the same time, I am playing NCAA 25 football because I'm in a dynasty league, and I'm actually in my game, but I can multitask. So what's going on with you, man? Good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you. So you're playing. What team are you?
I am using Colorado, the Buffaloes.
Okay, and did you create yourself?
No, I haven't done that. We're just sticking with the teams as they are right now. Nobody could pick a top 25 team. And I finally with him. I got 8 games in, and I finally cracked the top 25 in the nation. So I'm feeling good.
Oh, how's Shedeur Sanders doing?
He's doing okay. I'm a run first guy, so my run game is extremely strong. But that's that. But Sanders is doing okay, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. Just doing nights here. Got the Red Sox on one television. I got WWE. Friday nights. Bianca Belair is putting some girl in a torture rack right now. So that's
what's up.
That's good. But how you doing, man? I was with your boy Cerrone last week. Him and I went to camp, and we had a chance to watch Drake May and Joe Milton and Bailey Zappi and Jacoby Brissett. So, I don't have high expectations for the team. I think actually they will be the worst team in the league. But
wow,
how do you feel about all this chirping about Drake May maybe not being good already yet?
Joe, I've believed since day one, since Bill Belichick was shown the exit door, that there was going to be an issue as far as the way the team was covered. I thought people weren't going to be too fair with covering the team. And honestly, Joe, come on, think about it. It's practice. It's legit practice. We haven't seen them play in a preseason game, yet alone, and then get into the regular season. I think we still have to be fair. I think we have to all pump the brakes, attend camp, watch preseason, and just see the development of Drake May. See how that goes. I'm not expecting much from them either, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start until maybe, I don't know, week 6, 7, if that. He may sit the entire season, but I think we're being unfair, and just not giving him a chance to develop and become something special, which he could. He could become something special.
You have you watched this guy Joe Milton at all?
No, the backflips and stuff are cool, all that type of stuff. He has a strong arm. We all know that. He can throw the ball, 50, 60, 70 yards. But from what I've heard, because I haven't been able to get up to camp myself, but from what I've heard, it's pretty much the same old stuff that we've seen before. Yes, great arm. He has been doing pretty good. But, Joe, you've been there. Has he done anything where he's shown that he has touch? No. How's his accuracy? How's all that?
Dude can throw, and he can jump, and he can probably run. But I hate the talk. Ugh. I can't take it anymore. But Leroy, we should announce that we'll be doing post game again this year.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
All right, and the first game is this Thursday night.
Oh my God, I forgot. Yes,
I know.
That's right.
It's creeping up.
God.
So
it just came up bad quick. Like, I feel like we just was screaming about Mac Jones going out like a sucker, and now it's time for football again.
You know what's funny? Last year was tough, bro.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to give analysis for that?
Oh man,
like it was so bad, man. Like I think back to it, and I'm like, how did we get through 3 hours of like, is Bill tanking or Mac isn't the guy? Will he start again? Like it was
right.
It was terrible.
It was tough. I caught a lot of heat, man. I caught a lot of heat in the building. People upset, like, man, you gotta lighten up. And I'm like, man, it's the same stuff every single week. It was really, really tough. You know what it was more so than tough, Joe? It was depressing. It was hard to see. You're used to 20-something years of just great football, and then that's what we got? It was tough. It was tough. But I think this season, knowing that, it's a new era, Gerard Mayo's at the helm. We don't know if they're going to be good or if they're going to be the worst team in the league. We don't know. But at least we've turned the page. It's a new chapter. We know Belichick is out. And, again, I think I'll be preaching all season, man, patience. It's not going to happen overnight. We might have to sit and wait for this team to develop in 2-3 seasons, something like that. It could happen this season. You never know. But I'm betting my money, and since you're a betting man, I'm betting my money that it's going to take about a good 2 to 3 seasons before they become contenders again.
All right, Leroy Irvin joining us here on the night show. He's from 96.9 Hot, 96.9 in the morning. And has a Saturday show with Cerrone Battle tomorrow morning,
Yes,
right?
sir.
9 o'clock?
Tomorrow morning, 9 to 11. I will be there.
And then we'll be on postgame, every Patriots postgame this year on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I got to ask you about Gerard Mayo. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if he can coach. I don't. I'm going to be patient, but how many times last year, Leroy, did we have to ask somebody, hey, who made the call there on fourth down?
Right.
Who was it? What do you think? Do you think Mayo's going to be the guy who says go for it on fourth down, or nope, let's punt? Do you think it's going to be him? Because we were always told it was Bill Belichick.
I hope so. I'll be very disappointed if it's not him. At the end of the day, I want to know that Gerard Mayo is making the final call. So I'll just leave it at that. Will he do it? I don't know, but he better. He better.
I know. We've been asking everybody, so I'll ask you. In your opinion, what's a successful season for the New England Patriots?
A successful contending to be in the playoffs, a wild card spot.
Really? You're going that far as them?
No, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that would be a successful season to me. Just being right on the fringe, right outside. Maybe they make it in, maybe they don't. But you feel like towards the end of the season they have something to fight for. That's all I'm saying. That would be a successful season to me. I know last season they didn't win a lot of games. But I don't know, man. Bad football is just, if it's bad football, it's bad football, and I'm not going to consider that successful. It'll just be bad football.
Switching gears here. How do you feel about Steve Kerr?
He ticked me off. I thought it was very disrespectful the way he treated Jason Tatum in Game 1 versus Serbia. We all know all Jason Tatum's accolades. The guy he's done his thing. He's one of the best players in the league. You don't bench him. I'm sorry. I don't see how you bench anybody, to be honest. I know when Embiid got benched the second game, it's like, come on, it's a glorified all-star team. Everybody, you mean you can't put somebody in for 60 seconds? Stop it. It seems like there's some type of agenda. I know there's talk about the Nike connection and all that. But when you see stuff like that happen, you have to wonder if there is some truth to it. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of how Steve Kerr is coaching the team. Yes, they're winning. They're blowing teams out, but they were supposed to do that regardless. They're a team that can do that. Put people in. Come on. You can't give someone 5 minutes.
Yeah, it upset me. I think they're boycotting them. I think it's a boycott because of Nike, and I'm starting to wonder if Tatum didn't play because of a silent protest.
Oh no, I hope he wouldn't go that far. I'll tell you what, even though he played against South Sudan, man, his body language says like he's really trying hard to become invested in playing again.
Yep.
He doesn't seem like he's really locked in. That first game hurt him.
One more for you. How do you feel about the top 100 list in the NFL just came out?
Okay.
And Patrick Mahomes is 4th on the list. How do you feel?
Oh, my God. Oh, this one's tough, man. 4th? No, I'm not going to put him 4th. He's a great player. I do think he should be maybe, let's say, in the top 20, 25 or whatever. And I think once his career is over, he could be top 5.
Yeah, well, I'm talking this year, though. This year.
Oh, this year. I thought you meant, yeah, absolutely. But, you said number 4?
Number 4 for this year?
Oh, no.
Tyreek Hill's ahead of him.
He got to be top 3, if not number 1.
Lamar Jackson's number 3? Or 2?
Wait, who's number 1, Joe?
Who was number 1 again, Skaz?
It was Tyreek Hill, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, then Mahomes.
Yo, that's dirty. I can't believe they did him like that. Hold on for one.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can't believe they did him like that.
What'd you get intercepted? What happened?
Yeah, I'm getting my butt whooped right now, but it's all good. It's 17-7, and it's all good.
All right. So, do you mind if we take a call with you while we're on the air?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't know how. I don't want to hang up on Leroy. So, what do I have to lock it? You don't want to do this, guys, or do I?
I don't know if we have the capability. We can try.
All right. I got you locked in. We're gonna go to JP in North Providence.
Oh God.
DJ Lie, I didn't know you were doing a guest spot tonight. I need some help, Leroy. The plant's doing good.
All right, what's going down,
doing
JP?
good.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Joe. Joe, Tuscan Grill tomorrow night. We're getting pizza and then a little dancing at Scorpions. But, you can't get through to Leroy's daytime shows. The only way to get them Saturday mornings or a guest shot on the Joe Murray show.
Oh,
so Leroy, here's the big question. My birthday's coming up. I told her I want a watch and maybe some cologne. She's sending me pictures of gold watches. I don't wear gold. I'm the only Italian in the world that doesn't wear gold. I want silver. Do I tell her, or do I pick the nicest looking gold watch that she's showing me?
Man, I keep telling you every time we talk, honesty is the best policy. You got to tell her the truth.
And what do I do on the 100? She wants me to get She wants to buy me a $175 cologne. That's a little out of my range. Then I got to top it when I'm giving her gift. It'll just keep going.
Yeah,
I got to tell her the truth on the gold.
Yeah, tell her the truth on the gold, and you can also tell her, listen, say, hey, save your money and just spend time with me. Your time is more precious than gold. You see what I'm saying?
Ooh, I like that one,
man. There you go.
Dropping the line for me, Leroy. Thank you. But I got to tell her I don't like the gold, huh?
This is what I would do,
right.
JP. This is what I would do. I'd find a photo of something that's like $70.
Yeah.
And then just send it to her and be like, this is what I want.
All right.
Because you don't you don't need 100. I wear Armani. I don't need $150 bottle of Armani. You know what I'm saying?
No, all right, I'll tell her the truth on the watch. Maybe I could tell her I'd like a gold and silver one. We'll split the difference.
Ooh, there you go. That's what I wear. I got a Movado gold, silver right now.
Leroy, we'll talk some sports tomorrow morning. Good luck, guys.
Yes, sir.
Sunday nights, 3 hours of recap. Oh, Lord, maybe you should just recap all the press conference and podium. Hunter Henry again. Keep us awake, guys.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. You never know.
Thanks, JP. Wow, I didn't realize we could take callers while we're on a call. You want to do another one?
Yeah, sure. Go
All right,
ahead.
cool. Well, we did in or out a little while ago. So Kyle's in Hudson. He's got an in or out. What's up, Kyle? You're on with Leroy and Joe.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey.
So,
what's going on?
It's out on white pizza.
What is it?
White pizza. Like
in or
pizza
out?
with no sauce.
In. I love white pizza. You ever get the with the ricotta and the cheese, no sauce? You went in or out on that, Leroy?
A what kind of pizza?
It's called a white pizza. It's cheese and ricotta, no sauce.
I think I'm out, man. That don't sound right.
Really? You guys are what? Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine it, and I'm all set.
Okay. What's your go-to pizza?
Man, I'm a simple, just pepperoni, man. I love just regular pepperoni pizza. Keep it simple.
You ever put any hot honey on it?
No, but that sounds good.
Yep.
Not the white pizza. I don't know what that was about.
What kind of Ronies do you like? Any Roni, or do you like the cups?
Any Roni, any kind.
All right, bro. What else is new, man? What's going on over at 96.9?
We're just over there having a good time.
I saw Ramiro trying to breakdance the other day.
That was pretty funny because breakdancing is in the Olympics, right?
Yeah. Are you watching the Olympics?
I am watching the Olympics. So far, so good. I'm looking forward to track and field. I can't wait for that. And it's been good. You got the controversy and all that stuff going on. But as far as sports and strictly sports, it's been a lot of fun. I love seeing the different sports.
All right, you gonna watch SummerSlam tomorrow night?
Now that you said it, I will. I didn't even know it was going down.
Yep, we got some Cody Rhodes action.
Oh, really?
You got CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the referee.
Okay.
So you get
where's it at this year?
It's in Cleveland.
Ugh.
Logan Paul will be there.
Oh, okay. All right, he's there.
And there's a new bloodline.
And who's in that?
Well, it was Roman, but we haven't seen him in a while. So now it's Solo. That's the head bloodline. It's all family though. All the family it's a new bloodline.
Perhaps the best wrestling story. I would say the bloodline is one of the top. Let's put it top 5, maybe top 3 wrestling stories of all time. Storylines.
Whoa, bigger than the Hart, bigger than like Bret Hart, Owen Hart, British Bulldog.
I think so. You know why, Joe? Wrestling had taken a hit recently, and for them to be able to pull people back in and be that invested in today's world where everybody is so distracted and ready to move on to the next thing, you got to give them credit. Remember, Roman wasn't even liked. People hated him. And then all of a sudden, with this run, he became I don't want to say lovable, but yeah, I would have to say that people really, they enjoyed him. And I know Vince McMahon is a name you're not supposed to mention, but I guess Vince had it right with pushing him for years. Even though it wasn't working, it finally clicked. And so I'm going to have to put that storyline up there. As somebody who used to love wrestling, and then I kind of fell off, but then when I caught wind of what was going on, especially when The Rock came back in, and it didn't feel like The Rock was dominating the storyline, I said, all right, this is special. This is really, really special. Top 3, top 5, something like that.
All right, well, when you get some downtime, A&E is doing these biographies. Check out the Mark Henry one. It was really, really good. And, dude, former Olympian, man. Guy was at the Olympics, world's strongest man. It's very good. It just came out. And then last week was Paul Heyman.
Ooh. Is this the same crew that made Who Killed the WCW?
No, that was The Rock.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so I will check those out.
But same type of idea.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna check it out. We got to talk about it once I check it out.
All right, man. Well, Leroy Irvin will be a part of our Patriots coverage. We'll be on this Thursday night. Leroy, appreciate you, man. I'll see you Thursday.
All right, man. Take care.
You got you, bro. Take care. Bye-bye. I hope he didn't get an interception. Do you think he's got like a lazy boy couch or one of those gamer chairs?
I think there's a couple people in the chat saying they're doing exactly what Leroy's doing right now, listening to the Joe Show and playing some college football.
For the most part, people tell me that they play video games and get high and listen all night long. And
sounds like a good night to me.
I would say that was something I used to do. I won't lie to you. That was maybe as my early mid 30s. But I'm 42 now, and I don't have a gaming system anymore.
Joe, there's a non-zero chance I'm going home tonight and doing exactly that.
We might have some leftovers, too.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I brought wings. We ate them. But yet they weren't wing. Well, actually, if they're fingers, they're now wings, right? Cause
we got to go to the Supreme Court now.
Yeah, it's tough. I know we're late, but you know what? TJ's in Tampa. Hi, TJ.
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm doing the same thing as Leroy right about now. I just wanted to ask, you're talking about Olympics, women's rugby, especially in the U.S., having a real moment, but Free Jacks, the New England Free Jacks, playing on Sunday for the MLR Championship. I want to know if you had any thoughts on it or just didn't.
Oh, I've been down there, man. Is it in Quincy?
Not this weekend, no.
I've been there, bro.
San Diego.
Our boy Rutgers, a big part of that. I've been to some of the games. They're awesome, man. I support the team big time.
Yeah, their games are pretty sweet. It's a good time down in Quincy.
The good beer, good kid-friendly down there, too. Good food. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good spot.
Are you a rugby player?
I was. I played at Bryant. Shout out Dondero.
Wow. Hey, all right. Oh, okay. So you know Mark Dondero. Do you know Chris Costa, too?
No. And I don't know Dondero. I just know he went to Bryant. I'm a little bit younger than he is.
Oh, okay. All right, man. Well, thanks.
Small school. Got shout out.
All right, bro. I didn't hear what he said at the end there. By the way, did you see? I posted it, but did you see Chris Costa is in his store at Card Vault, and some kid's like, "Yeah, I want to go to the Fanatics event," and he goes, "Oh, hang on one second," and he just calls Tom Brady, FaceTimes him.
Humble brag.
And I literally, no. I stopped what I was doing, and I was like, "Bro, just casually is Tom Brady's phone number."
The guy's playing a different sport than we are.
That's a flex. I can't FaceTime Tom Brady. You know what's funny? I have friends who know super famous people.
I talked to Tom Brady's dad on the phone once when he called into the Sports Hub and I was working the midday show. That's about as close as I'll ever get.
Well, I'm not going to say who these people are, but they know some big people. And I think the biggest name in my phone is Ray Bork or something. I don't even know. Is that a flex?
Scott Zolak.
That's in there too. Mike Felger's in there. Anybody big? I don't have Ice Cube's number though. Chris Costa got the connections. That's right. Good kid. Card Vault. We've had him in studio. All right, we're gonna go to break. I'm Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
Hey, the Red Sox are winning 9-2. Offensive All right, we got Murray's Musings coming up in a minute. The show's just flying by tonight, guys. We've had a plethora of guests, really. Andrew Callahan, Neil, and Leroy. JP called in. Everyone's playing video games and listening to the show. Ivan is hanging out. Hey, Ivan.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing good, dude. Yeah, so I went up to. I'm a Salem State grad. So how much? What do you go? Did you used to go out in Salem at all, or no?
Yeah, I live in Peabody.
Oh, perfect. So you know the spots in Salem. You've ever been to like Bit Bar and like that? Have you been over there?
Yeah.
We would go there. We'd go there all the time.
I had Bird's birthday party there one night.
You had a birthday party at
Bird's.
At Bit Bar?
You know Bird?
Bird?
Yeah, Bird. You know Bird?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. He's my buddy.
Oh. Well, maybe we could be buddies.
Yeah, I mean, what's your favorite spot in Salem?
We always went to Village Tavern.
Village, huh?
Yep. We went to Village every night, just about.
I'm a Howling Wolf guy.
Howling Wolf is good.
Yeah,
I got a drink over there one time. It was something like a Long Island, but it was.
That's why
I don't even know what it was called. It was.
Did you know?
They pour them strong. Why?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Have you been to Rivalry? Have you been to Rivalry yet?
Rivalry? I've been there a few times.
They got a big cheese pull on their mozzarella stick.
Yeah, the mozzarella stick. So it's funny. I'll tell you a story. Me and my buddies were there once.
Uh-oh.
And
keep it clean.
We got. What's up?
Keep it clean.
Oh, I will. Yeah, we were there, and we had like our meal. We got drinks, and then there was this like couple at the bar, and they had that big cheese stick, and I wanted to get one, but they were like, it's like $20 for like fried cheese, and it's friggin' like 20 pounds, and oh yeah, so I was too, because listen to this, because they were eating it, they didn't finish it. And they turned to us. They saw 3 college students sitting at the table, and they said, "You guys want this?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" And all my buddies were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "Dude, this is a 20-pound fried cheese stick." I was like, "We gotta have this." So it was good. It was heavy on the cheese, though. I will say.
Joe is having some headset issues. We're watching him walk around the studio right now to retrieve another headset, but I believe Joe is in on these mozzarella sticks.
All right. Hey, you still there, Joe?
Hold on, give him one. Only on the night show. Only on the night show.
What happened? What was the story?
So the story, I said we were there, and then this couple asked us. They said, "Oh, do you want this? Do you want our like leftover cheese stick?" And I said, "Hell yeah!" And all my buddies were like. They were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, dude, it's a 20-pound fried cheese stick. How can we not take that for free?
Yeah.
So we had it. Yeah. They had a couple bites, but it was heavy on the cheese, I will say.
All right. Well, thank you, Ivan. Did you have anything else?
I just wanted one other thing. So this was my first time. This is my first time calling in. I called on 3 different phones. I was the one calling about the white pizza and the Tony Maserati impression.
You called in on 3 different phones?
Yeah, I didn't know if I could use the same phone or not, Joe. I didn't know what I was doing.
You can't, but here's the deal, dude. Did you? Well, why'd you do that?
So you know how you were talking about me and my buddy and his wife we're just drinking and took a couple edibles, you know.
So you're like, hey, let's prank the radio station with 3 different phones.
No, I wasn't pranking.
No, you're not pranking, but you've now admitted.
I didn't know if you guys would take the same caller.
Are you Ivan?
No, so I'm actually Cam. I was Cam from Clinton. I'm at my buddy's place in Clinton, but I'm actually from Hudson.
I'm out. I'm out. Poser. That was a North Shore poser.
I mean, you gotta respect the hustle a little bit. Joe.
I mean, that's hustle, but that's a poser.
I mean, we do have a one call a day rule. Doesn't matter what show. If you call in, it notifies us. that you've called in already that day. So the man knew of the system and how to get around the system. You got to respect a guy that, knows loopholes, Joe.
No.
I'm not condoning. Well,
is this like the Olympics? Get through the loophole, then you get a medal? Out.
No loopholes.
Got the musings coming up next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. To the studio and they work, but then I had to give them Neil, and then I died again, and now I'm wearing these, and it's driving me crazy that I bought new headphones and they're not working.
It's a chunky. Uh-oh, you got a chunky.
They're really nice. They're really, really nice. They're nice. They're nice, and I paid $100 for it. But this thing doesn't like that thing, and then it doesn't work, and then I can't hear things. And then we have callers pranking us. And you know what? A night like tonight, we needed a Christina or a Kevin. It would have never happened.
I don't know. The 3 different numbers. I
don't know. And then he wanted to, schmooze me with my favorite Hudson restaurants.
That is trying to buy you dinner, it seems like.
Oh, who?
I think you may be interested in this offer.
Burger joint in Plymouth. Best part, yeah. Oh, you're the... Okay. Well, Miss Cook, I am down, and KKK last couple of years, but I've met a lot of people at those burger events. Maybe you guys should get in it. We have people who work at our station that go to Plymouth. Ryan Beaton would be one of them. Maybe even Matt McCarthy near that Carver area. No lettuce on my burger.
I knew that was coming.
I just want a burger with cheese, bacon. Now, if I'm putting bacon on it, I want barbecue sauce. But I do like ketchup as well. And you know what? I would take the occasional fried onion ring.
On the burger.
Or strings. And I'll eat them off first, and then I'll big bite. And the bar fries. So thank you, Miss Cook. Appreciate that. My email is in my Twitter handle at Joey Murr. Thank you. I'm interested. You ever been to KK's? I know you're. Well, do you consider yourself a South Shore guy?
No. I live in southeastern Massachusetts. Is what I believe you would consider it. What I consider it. I am a frequent to Plymouth, though. It's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Play some golf down there. And there is a KKD's in Plimpton, I believe, that I drive by every once in a while.
There was one person I ever knew who lived in Plimpton, and he played at BC. And why can't I remember?
Yeah, Plimpton's nice. It's just, got to get down there.
The big KK Mac. It's an Angus burger. The barbecue burger, look at that thing. Crispy. Oh. Ooh, they got a Hawaiian burger. Double decker melt. This is good. Very good. Speaking of food. Skaz, when you go to the movies, right? Be honest. Do you bring your own snacks?
I would say no.
Plus, do you need the large soda and the extra butter and then, the Sour Patch watermelons?
I'm a Snow Caps guy at the movies, usually.
You know what I was a sucker for? The Slush Puppy. Because they give you red and blue, and I mixed them both, baby. And I'd get it in that giant cup, too.
So you're out on mixing sauces, but something to do. Wasn't there a midday controversy when you were on?
When I go to the Chinese restaurant, I get duck sauce and I get mustard. I don't want you to just put your mustard in the community duck sauce.
Okay.
Put it in your own.
I knew there was some sauce controversy. But I'm on your side, I think, on that one.
Women for sneaking in their own snacks at a movie. The 2 women took some children to see Despicable Me 4. The pair were said to have been taking blankets and snack bags containing popcorn, sweets, crisps, and lollipops into the screening without being stopped by any cinema employee. Now, first off, if you're a cinema employee busting somebody for candy, come on, that's the low of the low. The movie started. An employee told them to put their snack bags away. They agreed, but the employee apparently insisted on sitting next to them to monitor the snack situation. We have a snack narc. We have a snack narc on our hands out. Come on. Who needs a snack narc? A few minutes later, one of the children popped a Skittle. He was already holding it in his mouth, and quite frankly, all hell broke loose. The employee started shouting at them and said that the police would be called unless they left. This is when the children started crying. My niece asked nicely, if you're calling the police, are they going to kill my mom? One of the women told the newspaper that they laughed at the stage. Wait, I'm not reading any more of this.
It's insane. It is an insane story.
Should I read more? Or no?
I don't think so.
So basically, someone brought snacks in their blankets with the kids to the movie to enjoy. And then somebody there was like, hey, man, put out the bags. You shouldn't have it. They did. And then in order to like really get into order, the guy sat next to them. And then when the kid popped out a Skittle that was already in his mouth, they called the police. That's whack.
Very whack.
That's do your job. Wow, that pissed me off. That's pissed me off. Now listen, growing up, there was a great man at the old Dedham Cinema. Used to take the 34E up there, walk across the street. There would be a nice gentleman. I'd see him, I'd grease him, and I got to watch movies all day long. And we got to play video games. Because at the movies, that was the spot for the video games. But also some Auntie Annie's pretzels before, okay? We all have narcs. The snack narcs. The snarks.
I have never seen Aerosmith. I know, locally that most people have. I never got to see him. Doesn't sound like I ever will now. I don't know if I ever would have gone out of my way to see them. But yeah, Steven Tyler, definitely one of the more recognizable frontmen of longer than my lifetime.
I think they're the best American rock band. Hated, and I go, what am I doing here? But in the 90s, though, when they had their big, return, Crying and Crazy were, two great songs. Yeah. Speaking of that.
Speaking of Joe singing.
We got the final song of the summer, at least for this week. I don't know. We haven't done any more, but
I think we might have some more next week.
Okay.
We'll see.
And we also have a playlist of some old songs as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So let me get the birthdays out of the way. Today is August 2nd? Right? August 2nd. Happy birthday to Kevin Smith. Right off the bat. Victoria is old today. Is there any other good birthdays today? It's kind of a tough day, huh? J.D. Vance, woof. Slam Dunk Champion.
His birthday
today. He was also a rapper. He had a song called Flow On.
Lily Gladstone. Okay. She was in that Killers of the Flower Moon movie. Okay. And Joe, we got to mention this one. Today would have been Tim Wakefield's 58th birthday, I believe.
Oh.
So R.I.P. to a legend.
Oh, so sad. So sad.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Did you notice that pitcher from the
Mariners? George Kirby. I thought that was really cool. He threw a knuckleball his first pitch at Fenway.
It's a good tribute. Man.
You ever try and throw a knuckleball?
Yeah. I can do it like if we were just playing catch.
I think everyone in New England could because of Tim Wakefield.
And so the key is you're not really supposed to use your knuckles. You're supposed to push it. So when you throw it, it's believe it or not, I've seen people throw it with a wiffle ball that is incredible. But yeah.
I can get you with the wiffle ball one.
Yeah.
I can throw a good one with the wiffle ball.
And let's just be honest. I think anybody can throw a knuckleball once. But to do it at a consistency with no rotation, and it really is hard to catch. It's extremely hard to catch. I think we know that. But yeah, the thing is, Wakefield was throwing them at 50, 60 miles per hour, which, doesn't sound fast, but with no movement, it was really fast. I don't know if there would be enough. How many?
Well, Dickie Cy Young's 1, Nolan Ryan 0. There's something for you.
wonder how Bryson feels about that with the Rangers losing tonight 9-5. All right, on the other side, another song of summer. Might be Countryside. I don't know. We'll find out next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, the only place to hear the local call of the game is right WBC-FM at HD Boston. Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
All right. Red Sox right now lead 9-5. They've gone into their bullpen. Let's see how this all shakes out here in the 7th inning. Cam Boozer into the game at the moment. Patriots practice today. They've made a couple of releases. Tyrone Wheatley Jr. is out. He's out. He was traded for who? Pierre Strong. It didn't work out. And I call it, Skaz, I was all over that one last year. I know it doesn't matter. I know it's just a running back. It never was going to work. Never. And you know what? Maybe they wouldn't have had to sign a running back in free agency. Whatever. Antoine Watson, 2-way contract with the Celtics. Headlines are brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. Coming up next, the third song of the summer.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98
seats. No history, and you just can't fake that. So let's just change that. Girl, let's go put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We can break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We can break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. Back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And we can put some miles on it. Put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We can break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. Back of the Chevy with the engine running. Just you and me in a truck bed wide like a California king. We can break it in if you know what I mean. Put some miles on it. It's the worst of the three. It's the worst of the three?
Maybe the most entertaining, though.
It is the worst of the three. So, let's replay the one that we did yesterday, Skaz. And then we'll play the third one, and then I would like people to know which one is their favorite. My baby want a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long. Gasoline and groceries. The list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell them bring another round, we need plenty more. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my, good Lord. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near 5th Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Woof. In a little espresso to finish off the songs of the summer for the week. And now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is that sweet? I guess so. So you can't sleep, baby, I know. That's that me espresso. Move it up, down, left, right, oh. Switch it up like Nintendo. So you can't sleep, baby, I know. That's that me espresso. I can't relate to desperation. My gives a F are on vacation. And I got this one boy, and he won't stop calling when they act this way. I know I got him. Too bad your ex don't do it for you. Walked in, a dream came true did for you. Soft skin and I perfumed it for you. I know I Mountain Dew it for you. That morning coffee brewed it for you. One touch and I brand new it for you. And now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, that's sweet, I guess so. So you can't sleep, baby, I know. That's that me espresso. Move it up, down, left, right, oh. Switch it up like Nintendo. So you can't sleep, baby, I know. That's that me espresso. Good job. Guess the downloads have been pretty big for these, huh?
Yes, I was looking at it on Thursday, and our final hour where we debuted the Songs of Summer was certainly the most downloaded hour that night. So yeah, I believe Espresso is far and away the favorite, but the other two might make me laugh more just because of I was there for the process.
Some guy goes, "This is the first time I've been listening this deep into the night, and I think it's great. Thank you." And yes, I'm drinking and playing video games.
That's our audience, Joe.
I don't know. What was better, those or rapping Rex and Effects with our caller Chad the other night?
That was pretty good. That was on the spot.
No, boy. Well, we can take a break real quick. Maybe should we at least look at some of the others? Is there any we haven't played yet that's worth looking back on? We'll do that next. We'll take a quick break. We'll kind of recap some things. When the Red Sox end, we'll get into them. And tough week for the Crafts. We'll get into that before we get out of here tonight. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98. just his pregame.
They've been getting wholesale deals for years.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Home.
All right, back here, 98.5, the Sports Hub. It's a Friday night. By the way, Friday night soon we'll be bringing back Joe Me the Money.
Fourth and Friday.
And Fourth and Friday. I don't have much for Joe Me the Money this weekend. I mean, I can always come up with something, but I'm not really dabbling at the moment. By the way, there's a lot going on in the gambling space right now that I don't want to comment on yet. I need things to play out. We have partnerships, and I don't want to upset anybody. I need the things to I've had people ask me, hey, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? We got to give it some time, and I'll just say this. It's not in Massachusetts yet. So that's good for now. 617-779-0985. I'll tell you why it's been a tough week for the crafts coming up in a bit, but just to finish off the songs of the summer, Espresso is the best.
I would say without question.
So Espresso is the song of the summer. Should we just...
to this point, yes. I'm saying it's going to be a tough road for it to be dethroned.
Unless something else comes along.
We did have a Big Jim submission, right? I believe.
Oh, really?
Was it Beatle? Who said the Billie Eilish song?
Oh, yeah, that
was Beatle.
Yeah, that song's tough.
Yeah, that one might be tough. But Joe, since you asked,
yes, what do we got back
I have ventured into the vault, and I have found 3 songs, one of which I don't think I've ever heard before. So I will just play them and let you react.
Okay.
I said I like it like that.
Oh, no.
I said I like it like that. I said I like it like that. I said I like it like that. Diamond district in the jug. I said I like it like that. Certified, you know I'm gang. I said I like it like that. Drop the top and blow the bang. I said I like it like that. Oh, he's so handsome. What's his name?
Oh, I need the
I said I like it like that.
Beat it up like pinatas.
That one. I think you've progressed since then.
Oh, that was bad. That was in the basement during COVID.
That was 2019, I believe. 2018.
Okay. So it was before that. Okay.
We have another from 2018.
Okay, what else we got?
Everything's gonna be alright. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be. So won't you ride with me, see where this thing goes. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. If it's meant to be.
Oof. I don't remember that one.
That's a tough one there.
I don't remember that one.
Joe, we'll end with this one from 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Got the horses in the back, horse tax is attached. Hat is matte black, got the boots and black. Riding on a horse, yeah, riding on a horse head.
Been in the valley, you ain't been up off the porch, yeah. Can't nobody tell me nothing, yeah. Nobody tell me nothing. Oh my God. No. I got the boost, blah, blah. Riding on a horse, yeah. Riding on a horse, yeah. Been in the valley, you ain't been up off the porch, yeah. Can't nobody tell me nothing, yeah. Nobody tell me nothing. Oh, man.
I was cracking up back here listening to that one. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so good. It's so good. It's so bad. Whew. Blah, blah. the one that I know that was really like I cringe thinking about it. It's called I think it's called Chandelier. If you can ever find that one, dude. That one is just when I think of like, I'm actually going to do that and it's going to go over the air. That's the one that I look at and say, oh boy. Because there's a lot of high-pitched singing in that song. And I hope you can't find it because it was, woof, woof. Was Old Town Road a summer song?
That year it was. I guess. I'm looking. Trust me, I'm looking, but I've not come across Chandelier yet.
It was a song that was like, I want to swing from the chandelier. But it's me being like, it's awful. Oh, man. JP said he had to pull over. He was laughing. Well, anyways, that was the songs of the summer. And the other summers. All into one. Anything else worth going to break to? Is there like a dance like Justin Timberlake or I mean, there's always a Taylor Swift in there, I'm sure, because she's just a banger every summer.
And you are somebody that I don't know, but you're taking shots at me like it's Patron, and I'm just like, damn. It's 7 a.m. You say it in the street, that's a knockout, but you say it in a tweet, that's a cop-out, and I'm just like, hey, are you okay? And I ain't trying to mess with your self-expression, but I've learned a lesson, and I'm stressing and obsessing, but somebody else is no fun. And snakes and stones never break my bones. So, you need to calm down. You're being too loud. And I'm just like, you need to just stop. You need to just stop. You need to calm down.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right. Well, the Red Sox are winning 9-6 in the 8th inning right now. Patriots practice today, and well, they made it. All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Just wanted to mention something quickly regarding the Crafts. Tough weekend for them. Tough times, I think. The Belichick documentary didn't really work out, or their Patriots documentary. They were called liars by Matthew Judon in practice. Like, literally called liars. And he's back now. He called them, basically, you have all this money, what are you going to do with it? Bill Belichick's getting jobs left and right in the media. He looks better every day. And the Crafts were trying to obtain property in Boston, and it was denied. Denied. Tough times. Tough times. And I'm not sure what's next about a stadium in Everett. I'm not sure what they're going to do in Everett. I'm not getting political on that one. I feel like there's some real politics behind that. And that's just out of my hands and out of my pay grade and out of my element. So out. But it's been tough. And Skaz, you wrote an article today over at 985thesportshub.com. And, we've asked everybody what's a successful season. And a successful Patriot season starts with Gerard Mayo. I've said that. You wrote about it today. What are your... I agree with you, by the way.
Well, you're the reason I wrote the article, Joe. It was something that I hadn't really thought of or really, considered until you mentioned it on the air the other night. But, yeah, I think for the last couple of weeks, I think a big talking point has been, what is a successful season? How do we define a successful season for the Patriots? And I think it begins and ends with Gerard Mayo. It's his team now. He's taking over for a legend who had a great defense in his final season, and everyone is just assuming that defense is going to continue to be what carries the team. And if that defense takes any step back this year, it's going to fall on Gerard Mayo. And he's tasked now with developing a third overall quarterback, something that Belichick never had to do. He got Tom Brady in the 6th round, and I'm not going to say Tom Brady fell into his lap. He, recognized in practice what was going on there, but still a very different situation than drafting a guy number 3 and having to, find his role in this organization. So I think if you want to talk successful seasons for the Patriots, it starts with figuring out, can Gerard Mayo coach? This is something you talked with John Sirenides with last night, something you talked to Leroy and Andrew Callahan with tonight, and it's we don't know. We don't know if Gerard Mayo is a good NFL head coach yet. There's not enough information out there for us to know. So it's no fault of his own, but now all the eyeballs are on Gerard Mayo. The faces of the Patriots are Gerard Mayo and Drake May now. I think Drake May is a much easier landing spot taking over for Mac Jones. Patriots fans at this point are just happy to see anybody that is not Mac Jones under center. Whereas Bill Belichick, obviously it goes without saying, those are much bigger shoes to fill, and Gerard Mayo stepping into that role. So it's going to be on him if they have penalty issues or clock management issues, all these things that we used to laugh at. Even Andy Reid used to be one of these guys that would get crushed for how he handled timeouts, and we think of him as arguably the best coach in the league now. A guy like Mike McCarthy, who in his 20th year still struggles with managing that stuff. All that stuff now falls on Mayo's shoulders, and whether he is in charge of it or not, we know about the in-game operations guy they gave the title to. So
Evan Rothstein.
No one's going to be calling in, blaming Evan Rothstein. It's going to be Gerard Mayo. So for the Patriots to be successful, not just this year, but going forward with Drake May, a lot of it falls on Gerard Mayo's shoulders, and we're going to find out very soon what a Gerard Mayo team looks like. Does he have them ready to go? Are they committing penalties? How do they manage the end of quarters, the end of halves, stuff like that? So yeah, you said it the other night, and I couldn't agree more. It's on Gerard Mayo how this team comes out and looks. Finding out if he can be an NFL head coach is the number one task for this team this year, because I'm not someone that believes Drake May's playing until week 8 or 9.
So I agree with you. on the Mayo stuff. But you know whose fault it will be if it doesn't work out? Kraft's.
Because they hired him.
They wanted him to be the successor to Bill Belichick. They hired a guy who never had coordinator experience. Right? I mean, that's just a fact. And then nobody wanted the jobs. The assistant. Nobody wanted the offensive coordinator. Guys, they also didn't want to pay guys. Nick Caley wanted to be here. They didn't want to pay him. Right? Like, I just look at what Atlanta did. You went Zach Robinson and why am I forgetting the head coach's name? But what I'm trying to say is they went with that, a defensive coordinator with the best offensive coordinator. And the Patriots settled on Alex Van Pelt.
Raheem Morris.
I couldn't forget that name. I don't know why. But yeah, Alex Van Pelt and DeMarcus Covington. And the other thing is this. Van Pelt is running the offense for Jacoby Brissett because if it looks good, right? If Brissett plays well, doesn't it look like he is an offensive coordinator and then might be up for a job or might get a bump with the Pats to stay there to help Mayo? That's another reason why they're not going to play Drake May or Joe Milton.
I think another part of this, too, and obviously this is much further down the road, but if you're the Crafts, you have to have some fear that Mike Vrabel will get hired at some point. And if he is successful in that next stop, you know fans are going to look at that and say, we should have had that guy. Why didn't you make that call? Why didn't we bring in Mike Vrabel? Because you already had this handshake agreement. Not even I think there was a contract with Gerard Mayo, basically, or at least that's, rumors, allegedly, that was kind of already done. So, yeah, obviously that's, a year, 2 years away. We have to see what Mayo does. But, yeah, I think the Crafts, maybe you're kind of right there, Joe, that Drake May and Mayo aren't the faces of the Patriots. It's the Crafts, and that's what they wanted. But that shield that they had for the last 20 years of Bill Belichick, that shield is gone now.
You know who I think their shield is right now? It's Matthew Judon. I think Matthew Judon is the story of camp. He called them liars. Says he never got a contract offer. They said they did. So what is it? Did they or didn't they? Because that's the story. You know why it's a story? Drake May is not ready. And if that was the main story, it would look bad on who? The Crafts. It's been a tough week for them. Gerard Mayo, if Gerard Mayo hits and Brissett plays well, the team's going to win 7 games. 6-7 games. And it's going to look better in its development. Maybe they bring Brissett back next year and there's a true competition, Drake May, Jacoby Brissett. But Brissett's going to get paid no matter what if he plays well. So, get ready. If this is something here, now you're looking at a tackle, a wide receiver. Maybe Baker takes the step or Polk or Douglas or someone. But if it looks right with Mayo, and I'll even throw in, if it looks good with Mayo, I think it's the right hire, and the Crafts look like they know what they're doing. And I'm not saying Pete Carroll wasn't the right hire after Parcells. I just think it was hard to go from hard coach to him to Belichick. It was and just look at the guys who hung around. Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, Ted Johnson, Teddy Bruschi. These are guys that were playing in Super Bowls, Lawyer Malloy. These guys played in a Super Bowl and competed. Mayo does not have that. And that's why it's hard to compare it to Carroll. Parcells, different story. He's done it before. Mayo's truly thrown into a situation that they're hoping it works. Because it might not. Scary.
Yeah,
it is scary.
Your biggest worry with Mayo is what? That he's too player friendly? That he's too PR conscious?
Can he coach?
Yeah.
I don't care about the PR, the players, or any of that. Can he make decisions? Does he put guys in the right situation? Is he coaching them up on the sideline? Does he have the right guys around him? Dante Hightower, I like seeing him around. Troy Brown as an assistant, I like it. Maybe he wasn't a good wide receivers coach.
James White has been down there,
James White's there. This kid Peters at the line coach.
Scott Peters, I believe.
But in Van Pelt, just these guys around him, are they something? Or is it just another kick at the can on trying to get it right?
Yeah, I think early in the season it's going to be how do they start games and how do they come out of halftime? Does Gerard Mayo have a game plan? Can he make adjustments? What do they look like in the third quarter? How do they look in the first quarter?
How do they respond on the road? How do they respond after a bad turnover? How do they respond after giving up a touchdown? What if the kicker misses a kick? How does the defense go back out there? How does the defense like it if they can't do anything on offense, but they're playing their asses off? How is it in the locker? And then when things get weird in the locker room, like, is he the guy that sets the example? He's going to have to be.
Yeah, and I think we all think this is going to be a run-heavy Alex Van Pelt style offense. What does that offense look like when you're down by 10? When you're down by 16, 17 in the third quarter? What does that offense look like then? Will they try to force it? How much Alex Van Pelt are we going to see? What is Jacoby Brissett going to look like down 10 points, down 2 touchdowns late in the game? Will they push the envelope, or are they just going to say, nope, that's not what we do. We run the ball. We kind of play it safe. So, yeah, all that stuff, it's a new era. It's a new era in Foxborough, and we're going to find out, Joe, less than a week from tonight.
Yes, next Thursday night, it all starts. And we have all the coverage here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, we'll wrap this show up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Final segment here. Thanks for everybody tuning in this week. Great job, Skaz, as always. Just reading from Eddie on Twitter. The Crafts' whole offseason's been atrocious with the rumors about Jonathan Glazer taking over the Shadow GMs, the documentary on Apple, the rumors Jonathan had BB in his crosshairs since early last year, Kraft allegedly bad-mouthing BB to Arthur Blank, etc. Yep, it's been bad. It's been a tough one. The Red Sox won tonight in Texas. It was a big win, no matter how you look at it. One important thing happened tonight. The game got a little close, and there was a record broken. Maybe not a great one, but Cutter Crawford gave up 4 home runs in 5 1/3 innings tonight. It sets a Major League Baseball record, giving up 12 home runs in his last 3 starts, spanning over 15 innings. Yet they still won the game. And it got a little close, right? What was it, 9-6? And let's not forget, Kenley Jansen slipped the other night. He's got a little bit of a back thing. He did show up. They didn't need to use him tonight, and I thought that was really important. To push him back for another night, see how he feels, etc. I just thought that was a nice little thing. They pulled away at the end. It might have been meaningless, but those 2 runs in the 9th helped out the Red Sox. Here's another couple of things. As far as their lineup went tonight, they had Sogard in the lineup. Went 1 for 4, but had 2 RBI. So they liked him. Corey's been talking on him for a while, but Nick Sogard helped out at second base tonight. Duran, another big night, 2 hits for him in this game as well. And then Devers hit his 25th home run of the year. Ceddanne Rafaela hit his 13th home run. And Wilyer Abreu, his 10th home run of the year. Also, new additions. Lucas Sims went 1 1/3 inning tonight. 0 hits. 1 strikeout on 13 pitches. And then Luis Garcia came in at the end, got an inning of work. All zeros on 7 pitches. Sims, Garcia, back of the bullpen tonight. It was a win. They've won 2 in a row now. They took 2 or 3 from the Mariners. What they're doing now against a Texas team that won the championship a year ago, let's be honest. Tonight was a good win. And you know what? The front-running Red Sox, can I say that, Skaz? The front-running Red Sox tonight got out to a big lead, and then their acquisitions that they acquired at the deadline closed the door. Can they win that way? Is it sustainable?
Hey, it worked for the Celtics, right?
Can they win that way? Is it sustainable? At the deadline, everyone was so mad about not getting a bat, right? I've been saying this for how long? Now, they did score only 3 runs the other night, and it went in the extra innings, and they went on a Devers walk-off. But they've been scoring 11, 9, 7, 9, 8. It's like they can hit. Their biggest problem is fielding in back of the bullpen and blowing games after the 7th inning. Big win tonight. Let's see how they follow up tomorrow. Hey, that's how I feel going forward is, does the win, the walk-off win mean something now against Seattle? Because you won tonight, yes. Does tonight's win matter now if you don't follow it up with a win tomorrow? And that's what I mean. If you can somehow win this series, you're in it. Blake Snell threw a no-hitter tonight, huh? Wow. Those are starting to come around again. Been a couple, right? In the same week.
Oh, yeah. And
Dylan
he could
Cease?
be a free agent at the end of the year, too. He could opt out.
Oh. All right. That's it. Week in the books. I'm back here on Sunday with Alex Barth. We're at 10 o'clock. So.
The Joe Milton guy.
Oh, God.
No, I wouldn't do that to Barth. He is not a Joe Milton starting guy.
It's Cowherd and Bolin. All right, guys, great job this week. I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. Talk to you then. Out.